Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another video. We are back with semi-regular streams. I know last week there wasn't a lot of streams, but I'm taking that as a personal vacation. And after the Manchester United game, you know what? That was probably really good in hindsight because fucking hell, what a shit show. But we're going to get into it. I think this stream is going to be, I think is the right way to describe it. There's going to be a lot of discussions that need to be had. A lot of players are going to get criticism, and criticism that is deserved after a performance like that. Absolutely poor,
Your
complacent,
mic, brother.
naive.
Mike.
Oh, fuck.
Mike.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Right, okay, cool. We're just going to hold it like this. But yeah, naive, complacent, bullshit performance against one of the worst Manchester United sides I've seen come to Stamford Bridge. And we let them get away with it yet again. Fucking frustrating. I think that's the perfect word to describe it. But we'll delve into it. First up, big up the panel. As always, Fatta. I'm going to start off with you because I can't lie, this is going to be a rough stream for you, my G. But what are you saying? You good?
No, I'm good. I'm good as usual. Just seeing the Club World Cup things being announced, and I think we're gonna delay the Brighton and Arsenal games. So we'll see if we get a good side with the Club World Cup, and we should win this. So.
Oh, nice. Might win the Club World Cup on Valentine's Day. Great. Scott, what are you saying, bro? You all good?
Yeah, not too bad. Kind of just want to get into talking about the game because, like you said, there's a lot to talk about. Certain players, and just it's as I've seen people say in the chat. Today's gonna be interesting because there's gonna be a lot of disagreements. I already know.
Big up Alex in the comment section as well. CFC time, Moyo, Donald. I know studio's full right now, but it'll clear up in a little bit as well. So anyone I've sent the link to, just jump on later on into the stream because I know there's going to be a lot of people that want to say a lot of stuff. So don't worry about it. Jesters, what are you saying, bro? You all good?
Oh, I'm all good. I mean, I did a live stream yesterday, did a podcast. You all should check it out. Worldwide Chills podcast. It's out already. So I got a little bit of rants out of my system, but I'm coming for all these agenda-driven little kids out there who want to slate two attackers and leave one their favorite out. All three of them were shit yesterday. They were utter garbage. That's it.
I don't think anyone from the attack, from even the front seven, except for maybe Reece James, had a perfect game, if we're being real about it.
I can't even lie. The first half, I've got no criticism in that attack apart from one player and apart from the two stupid chances. It's that second half we need to talk about with the attack.
Yeah.
That first half, bar the two stupid chances and one fucking player who I'm done with now, I ain't got complaints.
Yeah, there is more to talk about the first half than the second half because the first half is the one that actually made the second half. If it wasn't the first half, we wouldn't be a shithole if we are at the second half. The bigger problem for Chelsea is not the players. It's hold on a second. I said it wrong.
Right, now you know what? Intros are just long as hell. Big up Alex, big up Babalo, big up Josh, big up Andrew, big up Cos, big up Javi. Let's just fucking get into it because the first 20 minutes we really could have killed Manchester United.
Exactly.
They started so poorly, so many individual mistakes, and we didn't capitalize on it. Like there was the early chance where Callum Hudson-Odoi had the ball in a good position. Timo Werner was screaming for it in a nice position, kept his head down, and that was twice in the first half.
I don't blame him. He should. I'm not saying pass him because who knows what Timo Werner would have done with it. He might have shot it all the way back to Bundesliga and scored in the Bundesliga with that shot. But to tell you the truth, if you're a striker, you should have tried to score it. The problem is the guy can't shoot.
This is the thing. Out of all the front three, the only reason why I'll give Hudson-Odoi a bit of credit is because he's young. He needs to improve his composure. He needs to improve his finishing. That's fine. He's still at that age, so that's cool with me. I know he still should have done better.
So why are we going to get on Timo about that then?
Because he's 25 years old and we've been waiting 18 months for this guy.
The age is not the difference. Let me finish the sentence. Everybody in the world of football know if you're an attacking player and you're going from the side one versus one, you're lifting the ball. you lifting the ball because the goalkeepers come, they spread the legs as wide as they can for a reason. So they make you to lift the ball. You don't have time sometimes, but Cho had complete time to do that.
Nah, look, No, I'm sorry.
Can I be honest here? I thought I was screaming a lot in that first half. One of the passes that Reece James made, I swear on my life, I've never seen someone standing like a statue inside the box. So,
there was a lot of that.
He was bad.
Bro,
He was bad.
There was 4 instances. I counted 4 instances of that in the first half, and it comes down to one player.
So the answer to the question that I've asked me in the last 24 hours is,
what the?
That man in a seminar.
Holy shit! Whoa.
Look, I'll say something about Cameron, right? I feel like
Xavi, shut your microphone.
Mad, bro.
Yeah, Javi, I don't even know if you're in the stream or not because he's messaging me saying someone took his spot. Bro, are you in here or not? Just let me know through the messages. But go on, what were you saying?
No, I'm just saying, like, look, with Cho, right? Like you said, it's kind of like both sides. I'm not going to give him an excuse because if you're starting left forward or left winger for Chelsea FC, you have to, because a lot of people have been clamoring in, and a lot of people have been giving him the credit that he deserves this past couple games. But, you know, same goes with the criticism. You know, it didn't just start from today. He's never had a very good shot technique, right? But I would not, like, slander Cho all the way for missing that because I think it was a good save. Now, he just made it predictable by opening his body too early. Like, if you see what Sancho did when it was one-on-one against Mendy, you know, he does the way he, twisted his hips to find the bottom corner. Now, it wasn't the worst shot because he was trying to place the shot, but against the world-class goal, De Gea is, semi-world-class. I'm not saying he's, he still has moments of brilliance sometimes coming out. He just made it so predictable by opening his body too fast to know, okay, if you open your body, you're going to take it side. But I'm not trying to say, he shouldn't have scored. He should have scored it. And as the starting left winger or left forward as Chelsea, those are the type of chances you need to bury, and those are the type of chances that put you up there with the best young players because outputs matter.
He needs to learn to lift the ball. Like, stop shooting it straight on the I understand he's young, but he needs to learn to don't shoot it. You know, De Gea is gonna dangle a leg out.
Yo, it's a football. It's a thing that you learn in a young age.
I understand what you guys are saying, but that's a place and finish. I understand what you guys are saying, but people score with the ball on the ground too. It's not a bad shot.
Yes, if it's a wide angle, with a wide angle,
it's predictable. We cannot
give excuses to anybody.
It's not an excuse though, because if it would have been something else if he had missed it, like he went wide and it was
he
not
didn't miss it.
Yeah, no, it was a save. It was saved. It
wasn't a save. He hit De Gea's leg.
It was saved. De Gea is known for using his legs to save the ball.
Look.
What the hell?
Your name? What's your name?
I think the ball hit his
Yo, Chelsea. What? So when you run in front of De Gea, what body position you expect De Gea to make when to block your shot?
Bro, my point is that look,
No.
And to block a shot. And I'm not saying that Cho shouldn't have scored the goal. I'm just saying it was a good save because De Gea is known for saving with his legs. And it was a placed ball on the ground. And I'm not giving an excuse for not scoring it. But then again, I'm not going to slander him all the way for not scoring that goal because it was a save, not a miss. That's his difference.
Can I chime in here?
Go ahead, Oscar.
I see it as a miss. You see it as
Can I chime in? I think the issue is that Babalo, I get what you're saying, but I think the issue is it is a reoccurring thing for Cho. It's not like if this is one shot, we could give him a blight. But he's been doing this for the past couple of weeks now. He should have scored against Leicester. He should have scored against Burnley the weekend before. He got one against Juventus. But he has to be doing better in that situation yesterday. He has to score.
One sec. Scott, we haven't heard from you. I want to hear what you guys
I would say on that point, by the way, I've seen it last 2 weeks. I can one up that. I can tell you about last year against Atletico Madrid in the second leg when it was literally identical. He's one-on-one and he fluffs his shot and the keeper saves.
Yeah. No, my point was we can criticize it because it's part of his game that he needs to get right. It's not a one-off. So
It wasn't even his worst miss of the day yesterday. He had one way worse than that.
Wait, that's why I couldn't get in. I couldn't see
from about the 6 or 7 yard.
What missed?
Like 6 or 7 yard box, he missed a shot with nobody in front of him.
That's why I said CHO should be the wing back.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
No, I thought we were talking about the one where he should have passed it to Werner and he shot it anyway.
About the one where
should shoot that.
I would never slay him for passing it to Werner, for not passing it to Werner. That's what
okay, well, then you can't slay Werner.
Werner is crap.
I will bubble on that. He shouldn't pass it to Werner. It's your instinct as a striker. You go and you have the opportunity.
Hold on,
you score.
I was told he was a creator, not a.
It was the same thing.
The only reason why, if he'd have scored that, then we'd be saying he shouldn't pass to Werner. It's because he didn't score that is why he should have passed to Werner.
It's the same thing. The same thing happened against Burnley. Barkley had a chance, and everyone said he should have passed to Chilwell. It's not that you should pass; you should score. Like
exactly.
You can't be missing an open shot in the box. You can't.
Yeah, you'll get criticism that you didn't pass because you didn't score. If you're going to take that chance on, you need to score.
Remember,
so would it be like?
Remember the Madrid game? The Madrid game, the Chelsea versus Madrid when it was Pulisic coming in, right? And it was Werner over there. And I remember a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Werner, he did so much, he created space." I'm like, bro, I think Pulisic saw Werner in there and it was like,
I ain't passing it.
No, I'm not passing that.
It's the exact same scenario.
I don't blame him anymore. Like, my patience with Werner is done.
It's done. Guys, just a disclaimer. We're gonna disagree on the stream, and I just wanted to keep it personal opinion and not get disrespectful because we are gonna disagree. And Werner, my patience is up. I'm just putting it out there for the rest.
Since last year.
No. This, and I tweeted this, by the way.
Zabi, you said the same thing with ZH.
What about ZH?
Your patience is done with ZH. Half of you panelists said you're done with ZH.
I'm done with ZH.
You wanted to sell him in January.
Who's a ZH supporter on the stream?
I'm not.
So I don't know what you talking about.
I'm talking about you wanted him gone in January.
I said
I believe it's finished. I believe it's finished. I see this guy get a chance. I already think he's gonna miss.
Lewis, it's not even that for me. I tweeted this. I don't care about the missed chances. It's fucking irritating, but I don't care. The least I expect from my striker is to understand where to position yourself in the box.
Yes,
and it's not even that. I see him get the ball right, and he's got 20 yards of space forward to run into, and he's slowing down. I'm like, you're the fastest. This is my point. The overall point. Run into space.
I just want to say one
overall point I was going to make is in terms of technically in football IQ, he's maybe the worst player I've ever seen in an attacking sense.
But Scott, even the shot
Shabby, I need to just
thank you, Andrew. Out, that was blinding my eyes.
Wow. I've seen players this isn't a flex, but I regularly watch other leagues of football. I watch the Championship, the MLS, the Chinese league. I'm seeing players there. I'm seeing players in the MLS who can do the bare fucking basics as a striker and position yourself in the box that he can't. 4 times I counted in that first half that CHO, ZH, and James put in inch-perfect crosses in the box, and my guy's chilling on the edge of the box. Why?
Thank you.
Why? Okay. What are you going to do?
All right, Scott.
You cannot say that I wasn't.
Hold on, just one thing.
Last year, all right?
We had that shot he let. Sorry, I'll let you talk. Sorry.
No, go crazy.
That shot that AWB blocked. You know, if he hits that correctly, AWB doesn't have a chance. It's the fact that he toe pokes it. Gives him that chance to block it.
Man, look. All right, look. You know from me from last season. Lewis, you remember me from last season, right? I've kept the same energy on Werner. I never changed the energy, no matter how much. Every time I came here, me and Faisal will say, no, but Werner is this, he creates chances. I've said this over and over. We try to change Werner's positions so much in this team. Saying he's not a striker, he's not a left forward, he's not a mid, he's not this. What is he? He was here to score goals. He can't score. He can't link. He can't control. He's a sprinter. He's an Olympic runner. He should have just went to the Olympic game.
He's not even sprinting.
No, I'm telling you, he should have won a gold medal with Germany. He shouldn't be over here playing. Look, there's something about making runs. It's not about making runs in a straight line every time. What Pulisic, and I keep bringing him up, what Pulisic has in the box of the savviness of, attacking the ball when it's coming in, not just waiting for it somewhere to come find you. You have to attack the ball in the box, especially as a small number 9. He was playing as a number 9 yesterday, and he's a small guy. He's not like Lukaku size. You got to be savvy in the box. You got to like know how to maneuver, create your own space, and
got to be present.
The ball coming in. He doesn't do it. He's just at the edge of the box. He can't shoot from deep. He's not a good long shooter. So why are you at the edge of the box?
The fact that I have
do something.
The fact that I have Man U fans telling me if you guys actually had a number 9, y'all would have beat us. Like Man U fans is coming to me.
Oh, fans have said that about Chelsea for about 4 years now.
I want to bring a couple points in here from
just
Twitter.
before you do that, Adinishan says if we had Lukaku in that game, we win. Timo is done. Paul Jr. says I must be dreaming. Finally, after a whole year of critics by me, we can have an honest critic about Werner without people. This content should be Pornhub. Well, I want to see. Wow, but big up yourself anyway, Paul. Jesters, what did you want to say, bro?
So Squawka put a tweet out saying that Timo had the most shots with none of them on target.
Yep. It was the outside the foot shot that went wide in the second half.
That was terrible. So second point is, because I know you're going to be doing a stream with him later at some point in time for Shameless FC. Your boy Ryan, the Liverpool fan.
Yep.
Prime Coutinho is better than KDB.
Yeah, no, I've just seen that as well.
Put that in your locker for later on, because that's horrible.
Yeah, Ryan loves a wild take, but it is what it is.
By the way, again, going back to my point of no IQ, just turn your body, fam. Stop facing where the fucking ball comes from.
Just before we go off, I can't a lot of the comment section wants to hear from one person. So Fata, can we hear your thoughts?
Yeah,
sorry to put you on the spot and everything. Everyone's asking to hear from you.
I
don't drop the soap, brother.
Yesterday. I've been the one screaming a lot many times in that pitch though. Like, why would you think that I'm gonna like say that? Oh, this guy should be okay. No, I'm not that dumb. Come on, people. Like, he was poor yesterday. Like, at this moment, like I'm literally almost running out of patience right now. So why would you lot think like I'm not that dumb, people? Please just stop. There's no need for the abusive stuff.
You're running out of patience as well. If that don't say
almost.
All right, that's how you know. That's how you know.
Almost though. I'm almost running out of patience.
Here's my take. Here's my take on the whole freaking situation yesterday. I know Werner is not I don't know what number he is. I literally don't know what kind of number he is, where he play. I think like we bought him from Lampard for one situation. We don't use that situation the way we're not playing that style that we brought him in for. Let's say that way.
We brought him to score goals.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's to score goals.
Let me finish my sentence. For me, it was literally not yesterday, specifically on yesterday game. I love my boy, but Robin Loftus-Cheek for me yesterday was freaking poor.
Yeah, I'll put my hands up and say he had a bad game.
Oh my word, he drove me nuts. I literally want him off in
halftime. Boys got to the game and he got shook. He balled it.
I mean, and CHO, those two for me was the ones that actually literally cost us. I could say cost us the game.
No literally. Left foot. He's got no left foot. The amount of time. I wish if he's going to drive, if Ruben Loftus-Cheek's going to drive into the box, then he needs to play on the left.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter where.
I think it does because
it's a period of time when you just know you dribble past one, you dribble past two.
Yeah.
It's time to give up the ball. You stop hugging the ball.
100%. He should play on the left.
Do something. But I think both points are true. Ruben should play in the left side of the left.
No, he should not play in the front three. Ruben is not.
No, I'm not saying
the left side of the mid. The left
yes,
not the left
because
mid.
First of all, I said it on our stream before. Ruben needs to play on that side because defensively coverage for Alonso also. Because we forget that we have Alonso that can get cut out of position. So for Ruben, it's better to be on the left than Jorginho on the left because Jorginho doesn't have recovery pace. So for me, he should be that, but that's not the problem with him. I don't even freaking have a problem with Alonso yesterday. Like that's literally What cost us the game?
Alonso did the best he could, but that
exactly.
What the thing is, Alonso did the best he could, but you know
I just want to finish my
Alonso
sentence.
is terrible.
He
He
can't
do much. He can't do much. He didn't do like we can't even go at him because he's just filling a void.
Xavier, you personally, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is Alonso the reason we lost the game yesterday?
No.
We didn't lose. We drew though.
But it's significantly.
I consider it a loss though. I literally consider it a loss for me.
I understand.
Like the tie, trust me.
No,
the draw is the loss.
Xavi, did we drew the game because of Alonso yesterday?
I
Not completely, but it significantly hurt us. Like that left wing, they didn't like Chilwell not being there now. They don't really have to worry about a significant threat from that wing back. Now they could
literally blaming people that do not have nothing to do.
Now they could focus on
literally blaming people that have nothing to do with the
it hurts us though. He's a part of our team, bro. He's a part of how we play as a system. Like he did not offer anything.
Alex, I get your point in terms of that he didn't make any mistakes, so he wasn't at fault for anything. But when I say he's part of the problem, or he was part of why we lost, because most of our attacks came down the right hand side, or they had to, because down the left there was nothing. So that we became predictable.
I can tell you that because you have agenda. Most of our attacking things went through left. Did Joe had the opportunities, or ZH had the opportunities?
So let's say they
actual stats. I pulled them out. I pulled the stats out. Which way did we attack more, left or right? Let's
when we did attack down,
you go ahead, talk, and I'll bring the stats. Which way we went more, left or right?
Even if we did attack down the left, he's nowhere near as dynamic as Chilwell is in terms of the movement he has with either Hudson-Odoi or when ZH has played over him or others.
Oh, so you just discovered something that I did not know.
So
Chilwell is better than Alonso, but that's the problem with yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday game.
Yeah,
this was part of the problem because the build-up play is not very good. Matter of fact, bro,
just let me know. Let me know.
Why, for example?
But one of the things that you tell
we should sit all here back
the difference between Alonso and Chilwell being there, like during the games, Thiago Silva likes playing those long balls to Chilwell when he was there. You know, because Chilwell knows how to break the line from that left wing. Alonso does not do it. You know, Alonso is just like, you know, ball to feet, you know, do a little pass, you know, doesn't try to all the way overlap because he's scared of he's going to get caught out of position. So he's just playing everything really safe. So safe that he's not like Chilwell that you could tell the combination with Chilwell, CHO, and who else was he? And even like with Rudiger too. Three of them combined way better. I mean, but I'm not. Look, Alex, trying to make it seem like Alonso scored an own goal. That's the only way he could cost us the game. He did not. Yeah, he did not do a physical thing to see like, yo, he almost cost us the game. But just the build-up play from him, it's not just good enough from Alonso.
And then
here's my thing. He's a defender, and we did not concede the goal because of him.
Bro, he's not just a defender, bro.
Come on, man. We all know those wing backs
like that. He's not a defender. He's a wing back. There's a difference in this system. You're not just a defender when you play.
We don't even have Alonso for the squad for defensive abilities. Like, let's be real.
You know, there is one person here that said, "Do not play Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side with Marcus Alonso because it's not going to work."
But is that Hudson-Odoi's fault or is it Alonso?
It's
Alonso.
Technically, it's Tuchel's fault for putting Timo Werner.
I want to answer the question.
It's Tuchel's fault because Tuchel did a criminal act.
Can I answer the question?
Well, he started Werner, did he?
Go ahead, bro.
Ben Chilwell and Reece James, we need to submit this first, have been the reasons we've been playing so well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Period. End of story. Whatever other agenda you got, you can go pound sand.
Yes.
When you take Ben Chilwell out, who is a gifted forward-playing wingback, he's almost like he is actually more like a midfielder. He can do things that most wingbacks can't do, most defenders can't do. When you put them, and so he's been making Callum look good because he gives him more space, because he makes more runs. He's a threat. When you have Alonso there's none of those things. Callum looks like he did last year, which is non-existent.
I mean, but like, I'll say one thing, right? Look, one thing is that, look, we are saying this about Callum right now. If he had scored one of those chances, we're not saying all this about how he didn't play good. At the end of the day, literally, I need him just to score a goal when you're in front. Literally, I mean, you win football games by scoring goals, right?
But you can't say he played well if he would have scored those goals. But he didn't score those goals.
He didn't score those goals. But the facts are, like, we're speaking about Chilwell and Alonso. Let's not forget, we had Chilwell and Reece James against Burnley, and we had a similar problem. We created a load of chances. We didn't finish them. So I don't think we can point this down to. I think Alonso was quite poor yesterday.
Exactly.
But honestly, if Hudson-Odoi scores his goal, his chance, which he should have, that's an Alonso assist. Like the Alonso thing, I don't think we can really speak on it too much today. We know it's going to cost us eventually because he's just not that good. But in terms of yesterday's game, I don't really blame Alonso. And also, for just on what Jesse you just said about Hudson-Odoi looking like he did last season because of Chilwell not being there. Like the team created a lot of chances, and Hudson-Odoi created a lot of those. So I don't really understand why we're acting like every single aspect of our performance was horrible. The only thing that we needed to do was put the ball in the net, and that falls at
Hudson-Odoi did not create. He created for himself. He did not create for anybody else.
Okay, but creating for yourself
does not matter. Create for yourself.
Also,
yeah, but he didn't capitalize it, so those creation doesn't matter.
Okay, but I'm not talking about that. I just said to you, the finishing was the reason we didn't win the game. The finishing was poor. But if you look at one, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, basically. You don't look at one aspect of the game and go, everything was terrible because of that.
But as the Chelsea team this season, what's the most important you think for Chelsea going into the matches, or what's the problem always been?
Not going to go down. Like
no, we don't go down. We have a goal scoring. If we don't score first goal early, then problems occur.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
but no, you said goal down.
If we don't score first, it's a problem.
Stop. You said, because we all agree that our problems mainly this season is creating chances inside the box. We've agreed to that a couple months back. It's been the story of our season.
But we now create.
Yeah, Jabby, just before you go off, Paul Julia says something else. Willian on an average season offered more to our club than Werner and CHO. Fight me. I am not doing William prop. I can't be bothered. Ace Reddy says, but Werner looked really good in practice. Shaking my head. Werner's getting it this stream. Big up Dag Maui as well, saying Cho should have scored, but I'm not going to blame anyone. Next time anyone dares to say support your player, I'm going to show them this video. Up the Chelsea. Bro, I do not blame people for being frustrated after this game. As yet another shitty result against Manchester United.
It was a classic United game.
I'm fuming with this performance. Everyone.
It's worse that like most of my friends are Man U fans, so they just.
Paul Jr. as well says the idea that we have 13 plus players with goals each this season wasn't worth celebrating when I expect our attacking players to be leading the lines in goals. Reece shouldn't be our top goal scorer. This is a very good point, to be honest. We should not be relying on our defenders to drag us through these sorts of games. Our attackers have not been doing enough for the entire season, if we're being real. The goals have been shared, but it's been shared by the wrong people. Like, credit to Reece James, Chilwell, Rudiger, Silva, and all that. But we shouldn't be relying on them. They're defenders. I don't know why we're relying on defenders. Our attackers have been poor the whole time.
Read Go AM.
Go AM says, credit to the subs. CP brought some impact off the bench, while my hero Mickey Mount brought comic relief. To be fair, I thought the subs by Tuchel were good. The subs were just too late. They were way too late.
Mount was good.
I think Tuchel got it wrong yesterday.
Thinking about, bro.
Like, I think Tuchel got it wrong yesterday.
I don't know if you noticed it's from yesterday's game as well. United were double teaming Reece James. As we saw, they were forced us to go.
It's because Alonso's on the left.
Alonso's on the other side.
On Alonso, sir, I've just clocked something. He was getting beaten by Aaron Wan-Bissaka constantly.
Yeah,
and we're talking about how he didn't have a poor game.
Cho could not pass him.
Yeah, because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a good 1v1 defender. That is fairly known. He's terrible going forward, but still beat Alonso multiple times going forward.
No penetration.
I do not see your comment makes
back pass,
I do not see the comment makes any relevance.
I mean, he got brought off the pitch for and put a right-footed wing back over there. I mean, there's a reason he came
in
off.
corners, couldn't find
And
a
then
header,
many
don't
pressure,
run
Yeah.
the ball, scoring
like,
transitions,
Oh
no
my
stand
word,
every,
we're slamming
no
the
stand
players
everything.
that did not
No,
have nothing
no,
to do.
the,
They did their
the
job
problem
and that's
that
it.
we have from
They're not
Alonso is he
job.
was so lazy.
They
That's all.
showed
We're not
up.
Roberto
Lazy
Carlos,
yesterday.
but they did not
He's not good
impact the
enough,
game
though.
is
I'm
that
speaking
bad.
to his
His job,
handling
but
shit.
Alonso straight up is not good enough if we're going to win the league.
You just don't
Straight
The
up,
understand
what?
he ain't
Not,
good enough.
Alonso's
bro.
He's not
impact.
good enough.
Matter of fact, I
He's
don't
not
care
good
if
enough to be
Alonso
a
scores
squad
another
player.
goal tomorrow.
Oh my
One
God,
at
we
a
slam.
time.
Hold
One
on.
at a time, folks. We
Let
can't
me ask.
hear.
Let me ask everybody a question. Why are we favorites this season to win the league? Supposedly, not saying that my favorite. Why are Chelsea? Everybody thinks that Chelsea are favorites to win the league.
Because we weren't carrying anyone. Now we have Alonso, we are carrying somebody.
So
Because we're
That's the way I see it.
no.
we're not conceding goals. That's
let me-
why, man.
Okay, so it doesn't have nothing to do with the depth squad.
Our depth
Does-
is fine. Like, we've had an
Okay,
injury
so,
crisis the last
no.
6 weeks, so we haven't
Our
noticed
squad
it.
versus Liverpool squad. What's the difference? If
We have better
want,
depth.
okay, so if we one injury out and we apparently we're losing the season because
Depends
of
on
that.
the injury.
Because let's be real, if there was one player we couldn't really lose, it was mostly going to be Chilwell or Mendy.
Or James too. Honestly, let's put him now because James formed too.
James, but like to be honest, like I can back Azpilicueta at right wing back.
God
I
forbid.
can't believe it that we're
God
losing the
forbid.
depth
Bro,
squad.
we won the
based on one
Champions League
injury.
with Azpi at right wing
Yes,
back. We
yes,
can
we
do it.
did, bro.
It's
But
not about
not
losing
this
the
season.
depth. It's about how
Aspie
it
played
affects
right
how we
centre-back.
play, bro. Our
No,
wing
no,
backs are
James was right
important.
centre back.
I want Aspie
No,
to
it
smell.
wasn't.
Like,
Oh
you
my
gotta
God!
understand.
No, James was right centre back.
If our
Yeah,
forwards
Reece was,
scored the
yeah.
game, if our forwards scored the goals, we will not look at Alonso as the bad
Yes, we
player.
would.
Yo, Alex. Oh, I mean, I don't know what your name is, but look,
I'm Alex.
the
I'm,
main thing is like, look, I
Pedro.
understand what you're saying, right? Really, I do understand what you're saying, but it's not about if this player doesn't score. We all know our attack. Look, I've been saying this. I remember I seen something on Twitter, right? And someone was slating Lampard, right? Saying, "Oh, Lampard is criminal for saying CHO was not starting because if he needed to start for Chelsea, he needs to put his output more to reach the heights of Salah and Mane and those guys." And I said on Twitter, and someone said, "Oh, he's not that type of player." But he is, though. He has to be. If you want to be, and it goes to every of those front three guys, bar Lukaku, because we know Lukaku's 100 million. He's here to stay. But except from him, every of those guys, you need output right now. We need more from you. I don't want to see. Yes, everybody else is scoring, but I need like 10 assists, 10 goals from at least 2 of them. At least from CHO. Let me get more. Morris, I don't want to see no.
I'm actually with you,
chances
but
created.
I agree with you. I don't know why you brought my name into it.
No,
I agree
I
with
just
you.
meant to say like the whole panel. Just me ranting, bro. It's like
No. I know, but I just don't see why Alonso is a factor in this specific game. That's my
No,
problem.
it was down to
I don't.
our front three.
You see what I'm saying? I just don't know why Alonso is the factor.
I need Pulisic back on the left wing. That's all I'm saying.
It's not the specific game. He's just not good enough.
Bro, he's not good enough. But
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like CHO is good, but CHO should be on the right wing if he wants to be a creator. That's it.
Right.
That's
We've seen
100%.
We've seen this before.
100%. I'm with you on that.
And
CHO
let the
needs to be
scorer
on the right
Pulisic
side.
be on the left because Pulisic's a better shooter, a better left. He could shoot with his left foot, shoot with
He
his right
cuts in
foot.
the box better.
Cuts in there.
But even his third post runs, though, like Reece James are putting it into some
And
dangerous areas.
CHO is better assister
would have
from the
been there.
right than from the left. He's
Well, that's
better
the thing.
crosser into the ball.
We've
It's like
seen this
you
already
guys
this
do.
season when CHO and ZH play together. Like to have ZH on the right and CHO, or ZH on the left or right and CHO on the opposite. Like they have to be on their strong-footed side, both of them. Otherwise, they take too long to cut back in. They were both incredibly predictable yesterday, cutting back in on their strong foot every time. It's like
oh, go on, Josh.
we've seen it.
My
I mean,
prediction
he
lineup
made
for
the
the game
switch. Was it the?
yesterday. My prediction
Malmo
for the
away.
lineups.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done it.
Mount, CHO, and Pulisic.
Lukaku?
No,
I don't think
I knew he
Lukaku's
was
going to
injured.
start.
I don't want to see
Yeah,
him.
I don't think
I don't
Lukaku
think
was
Lukaku
fit
is
to start.
starting
Yeah,
because
I was
Tuchel
gonna
was
say
saying that 8 minutes was already too much for him. It was like he didn't expect Lukaku to even start for over more than 8 minutes. Although I think Tuchel made a bad mistake of not making subs early. Even every other person,
Yeah, that was a bad
every fan
mistake.
could see that
That
we needed a
was a
sub
bad
that
mistake.
take Werner out because he was thinking of the pitch so much. Like I needed to peel off my eyes from watching this guy play. But like, I'm so surprised Tuchel did not sit. Tuchel is a very, very good in-game manager, bro. So I was so surprised that he did not see where, look, Werner being at the middle was not creating no problems for the two center backs. Yeah, it was creating problems for the left back and the right back or whatever, because Werner loves being on the wing. Let's go back to when we're blaming Lampard for playing Werner on the wing, which is the place he just drifts into a lot. He's just a wing drifter, and he drifts over there like he's scared to score a goal. He's scared for the ball to come to him. I don't know if he's scared to score because he's the freaking the slander he gets a lot. That's why. I mean, I feel like Tuchel should have seen that a lot. It should have seen that a while back, even during the halftime, to say, okay, this is not working. He's not a number 9. Get him out of here. Let's move something up and let's win this game.
I don't think the problem is I don't think he was in a position to.
I think Warner's the best for Werner to play to his strengths. We need a midfielder like Fabregas that can shoot the goal, long passes into the
Wait, but isn't that why we have Jorginho?
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
No. Wait. I just want to follow up on that.
Thank you.
That crucial
You
management.
brought it.
Why are
Thank
we
you.
leaving?
George had his back to the game all day yesterday.
I just want to ask, why are we leaving?
That's just not true, Josh.
I
That's just not true.
thought
was.
Jorginho had a
was.
few
It's not
sloppy
true, Josh.
passes. Like, I won't even
He's
try and
progressing
hide
the
it.
ball.
Yeah,
He's
Let's not act
progressing
like
the ball.
You
Jorginho was terrible.
I don't know.
I don't think
I
Jorginho
didn't
was
see much
bad.
progression.
One at
I
a
don't
time,
think
bro.
Jorginho had the
Right
bad.
here.
One at a time.
This is not going to go well. Just one
Can I
at a time,
go?
people.
All right, Oscar, I'll go after you.
Yes, Daniel, he's gonna make
Yeah, I
him
just want
not
to
to
say,
miss.
I think sometimes we act like because one aspect of a player's game was poor, they were just entirely terrible. I don't think Jorginho had a horrible game yesterday. That mistake, I mean, those moments are what cost you games, and they're also what wins you games. So,
But why was
people are gonna talk about it.
he only player back? That made
He
no
was
sense.
carrying
I
RC.
can answer that
Because
question
he
easily.
That's
was
what I
looking
was
for
saying.
Ballon d'Or to fall from the sky.
I can answer
was
that
thinking
question
it was
with a
Ballon
fact,
d'Or.
not
Alex, were you talking
Wait,
about
wait,
agendas
Justice,
earlier?
Justice, I want to hear. If you've got an
Agendas
answer
earlier,
for it, let
Alex,
me hear
weren't
you.
you?
Okay, first
I
of
told you
all,
that. I told you I can predict future, man. I tweeted before the game, and you can look it up. And I was like, I got a bad feeling, man. I think Jorginho is gonna stink it up with those 3 deep defenders. We're gonna. I knew as soon as I saw
Jorginho
the
didn't
Jorginho
stink
did
it up,
not stink
though.
it up.
physical,
Yeah, the
physical
views was
defenders.
on
I didn't
drink
think
my
it
coffee
was
then.
Wait.
bad
Justice,
mistake.
I want to hear from you. What are you saying?
Okay. We usually play one of our midfielders back when we're doing set pieces. And usually it's N'Golo Kante when he plays because N'Golo Kante is not gonna win a header. Just like Jorginho is not going to win a header. That's why, and we had Ruben as the other midfielder. So Ruben can win a header. He actually won a couple of headers. Didn't put him on target, but he's tall. So on a set piece, you're going to play your tall players in the box, except for Alonso, which we'll go there later.
Oh my gosh!
So
Even then, like, no, it's naive to leave one player exposed by himself.
but we always do it.
No, but why
No, we're
Jorginho,
not.
the slowest,
we're
the
not.
slowest guy?
No, it's
No, we're
usually
not.
Conte or it's Kovacic.
No,
Or
it's
Shalaba,
two
he's seen it
usually.
back or
Yeah,
James,
it's
somebody.
It's normally two. It's normally
It's-
two. Normally
it's-
Cho's
it's
out there
two.
as well.
I think it was
No,
bad.
actually, no,
you could
it's
have put
actually
James or you
it's
know what,
actually
send
one
fucking
and two a
Werner
little
back
bit
or
forward.
something, or Hudson
It's
Odoi,
li-
because
it's
neither
a
of them are
one
going to
and
win
two
headers
forward.
either.
It's 1 and 2 on each side. 2 fullbacks
Jorginho
on
should have
each
been
side.
shadowing the box with somebody
But
behind
It's
him.
not.
look, man,
It's one
Just is
player.
right when N'Golo plays, he's usually
You
the
know what?
lone man
I'm just
back.
gonna go.
It
No,
happened
it's
to
a long
N'Golo
deep
before.
man.
Remember when
There's-
N'Golo slipped?
Hold on, guys. Let them talk.
One
Alone
at a
deep.
time, guys. One at a time. Just finish what you're saying.
It's never two. It's always one player.
No,
It's
two,
N'Golo
bro.
Kante
It's
when
actually-
he plays. It's,
Yes, Jester, it's always one deep one, but the other two a little bit wider. I promise you, just look it up. It's always two a little deep one because if the ball comes off the box, there's always a player to receive it on the wides than in the center. The balls usually go wide away than the center of the midfield, but
But-
that's not the problem. He should have had it. He
It was
should have
just, I
had
think
it.
it was just unlucky. It was just unlucky because I felt like in the mindset of the Chelsea players on the pitch then and there, forget what Tuchel had told them. You got to understand these guys are humans and they have the mind of their own too. I feel like their mindset was United did not come to play football. United did not come to play. They came to park the bus. So might as well have, they were trying. At that point, they went gun ho and they brought everybody up. And it was just unlucky mistake. I'm not going to put too much in there. It was just an unlucky mistake.
No,
and next, Sancho and Rashford, they
I don't think it's
all you have
unlucky
to
mistake.
All you have to do is watch United across the last 3 years to know exactly how they play against big teams. Exactly how they play. They play counter-attacking football.
But
That's all you know. And in terms of the mistake, like people have said, all he has to do is clear the fucking ball. Why? They take
it out. Remember something, though. Remember something, right? The one thing Chelsea has been really, really good at this season, is the fact that we stop our counterattacks. So it doesn't matter who we're playing, we know how to stop our counterattacks. And that was the difference between Lampard. Most goals that were scored on the Lampard season was just counterattacks, out of nowhere. You got guys like 5 guys running at and they score on Kepa.
I agree.
But this season, we've stopped the counterattacks like that. This was a one-off thing. It was just a classic United game where bad things usually happen. And really, honestly,
a whole system is based off that counter-attacking style.
Yeah,
a whole system. That's why Jorginho stays deep all the time, because Jorginho was the issue at Lampard for getting run over, because he was the problem under Lampard that actually counter-attacking going through him.
Yeah,
that was the biggest problem. So Tuchel actually said that when he looked at the Chelsea before he came to Chelsea, all the problems we went. It's Jorginho getting run over on the transitions.
So then you don't leave him isolated as the only man back.
Yes. So
this isn't the first time we've seen it.
6-6, and he moved him back. Tuchel said, "Do not rush going forward." Which my problem with him is, that's my if in those kind of games like yesterday, he does it too slow. But it's get us not concede more goals. I understand the structure behind it. It's not my cup of tea, but yesterday it was the reason, because proper DM will know, do not let the ball bounce.
Proper play. Alex, hold on. Even if you're just a player, you see 2 guys rushing at you. You got no cover. You don't take that chance of trying to bring that
Look
down.
at the replay. He did not know. Look at the replay. He did not glance.
But if you're on the pitch, you got to be aware. You got to be aware.
He just had to play it back.
So much in his ability to bring the ball down. We know
you're missing the biggest point in the whole thing. When he made the mistake, he stood there. I understand he's never catching Sancho and Rashford, but you run back and look like you're trying. He stood there and did nothing.
Giving up. I won't try and defend that, because I slander Alonso when he does that all the time. So yeah, that was wrong.
You're right about that one, because
Paul Jr. Just before you go, Paul Jr. says a lot of one-dimensional players. More the third we got up front, but yes. Goem says this is what happens without Chile. Hope you're all ready for the prison shower when Mendy is out. Afcon Raw Dog. Oh my days. Dagmar also says Jorginho slander. I'm here for it. My bad, George. Of course you are. I forgot you got your Jorginho
I
agenda.
can't believe I'm gonna just quote.
I was gonna say, anyone inclined playing Reece James as a left wing back?
No, leave him where he's scoring.
Because then we lose out at the right.
Actually, if Lukaku was in, did you see those crosses into the box when he made it?
That's why.
I need to see. I'd love to see sound.
Do you think we became more fluid?
I think the reason why is because Pulisic was so good. By the way, everybody say CHO is CHO playing right wing back. Did y'all see Pulisic in the right wing back? The guy did the job and some.
I don't want to.
That's why I think Jorginho. That's why I think
right now Pulisic's best performances have come off the bench. I need to see him start with these performances too. That will come in time.
No.
He's not starting as a striker.
Yes, that's his best performances. He started it in false number 9, and he was bad. But after week, I agree, he wasn't bad. I mean,
it was just Juve packed out middle and couldn't do anything.
It was bad. The situation was bad. It didn't work.
You're right. He wasn't bad. I was just saying, he wasn't something that you expect the number 9 will do. You know what I'm saying? He did his runs. He did that, but he did his part. What he's supposed to be. What's supposed to be doing. But for me, Pulisic is more important player than CHO. CHO is not.
I mean,
I want him to play more games so he will get that feeling. But
the main ability is availability. You got to be on the pitch before you even say anything. You know what I mean? I understand that you say, Pulisic. I think I've said it since last season. Pulisic's our best attacker when he is fit. But the problem is that he's never fit like that. So I can't say it's more important than CHO. That CHO is
he's fit now.
Let me give a reason why. Like I think Pulisic was really, really good yesterday. He probably should have got an assist if Rudiger knew how to finish. But the problem with our attack is that you've got a player like Ziyech who consistently loses the ball. You've got Timo Werner who consistently loses the ball. CHO is one of the only players on our team who's a lot more efficient with it. He recycles possession a lot. He allows us to keep the ball a lot in the final third, which a lot of our attackers don't do, which is why I think he offers something different to Pulisic. Pulisic is way more of an impact. He's going to score more goals. So I think comparing them is quite pointless. We've seen them both play on the same pitch together. So it's nonsense. Like there's no need to dig them out. Personally, I don't want to see any of them at wing back. Why are our wingers playing wing back? They need to be in attack. They're attackers,
bro. And I said this, or Monster said this, tweeted this yesterday. In January, I ain't seeing summer shit. In January, we need to assess and sort out the left wing back and the striker situation, because right now we've got 3 strikers. One is injured and isn't fit enough to play 8 minutes. One is a second half of the season player, and also isn't apparently his natural position. And one is just shit.
I don't think we have a free striker.
We should have kept Abraham.
Let's wing back first, though. I can't lie. I'm not.
Don't say the A word, or Go AM's gonna lose.
I mean, look. Y'all know I've been an Abraham guy since I've always supported him. I'm not trying to say that he's the answer. But I'm saying although it wouldn't have been good on Abraham's part just to stay here and be on the bench, but I just feel like having another number 9, right? That's there and grown with the system that
the problem is the money
would have been decent. Well, the money and Abraham's development too would have been bad.
He did not want to sign a contract.
And I can't. No, Andrew. I can't believe I'm going to say this, right? If he's playing in that game yesterday, no, Andrew. You know how I feel about Abraham. You know how I feel about Abraham. He plays in that game yesterday. He at least gets 1 goal from those.
Yes, because Abraham.
No chance. One at a time, lad.
Let me say something. I want to say a few things. I'm going to say
I doubt it.
No, he doesn't, Scott, because Tammy Abraham can't header properly. So that's one. He can't do it. We've already seen it. He can't head it. Oscar, he's got a head like a wet sponge.
I'm not saying that.
Goals in the league.
I'm not saying Tammy can header.
2 years ago,
Tammy, a lot of Tammy's goals came from cutbacks in the box, and Reece James did that a couple times.
Goals in the league. I'm sorry. Put some respect on that, bro.
Let me finish.
Put some respect.
I'm not. I don't need to respect the players. He's crap. I don't.
He scored 15 goals in the league, bro.
I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
He missed loads of chances last season.
Who was the last one to score 15 goals in the league for Chelsea?
I don't care. He's crap.
I was going to say, we need to stop basing this off one season.
Exactly. One season, whoop-de-doo. Okay, then why are we slagging
One season he played for Chelsea.
Why are we slagging off
Michu scored more than him playing for Swansea, and he's now retired.
Come on. Anyway,
doesn't matter. He scored 15 goals for Chelsea, and that you got to put respect on that. I'm comparing him to Werner. Someone like Werner does not score 15. Werner has 3 goals in 40 matches.
I can tell you.
Why are we having this conversation? He doesn't
tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. Pulisic is going to be playing way more on the right wing back, and James is going to be playing a lot left wing back. Believe me.
Lewis, can we?
Oh, sorry, I haven't finished yet. I was just about to say.
You are finished.
Nope.
Andrew, you got that Starbucks Wi-Fi.
I am done. I'm finished. I'm so finished. Big up Go AM saying Tappy is tossing salads with Italian plumbers and you lot are still getting gas. that human breadstick is not the answer. I told you lot would set him off as soon as you said the A word.
I mean, it's facts. I'm speaking.
Big up Paul Jr. as well, saying change topic, please. I think Jabby wanted to do it. Andrew had a point, but he started to lag a little bit.
He said power cut.
Lag a little bit. He's froze.
I mean, it's fully frozen. Yeah, I said Tammy, and he just tapped out.
I took a picture of it, man.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm gonna put it on the.
Luke, I wanted to go to an earlier point on this because I need to correct. First, I was never ZH out. I was saying if you continue those performances,
you were ZH out. I can't.
Let's be honest. Everybody knows here that I have the most patience for ZH because I'm a ZH. I was ZH in.
Oh, that's.
Am I lying, Oscar?
Big up, Paul. We changed the topic.
I'm ZH out. I'm ZH.
Oscar said you lying, man.
No, he said I love ZH, bro.
Okay.
No.
Now
anyway,
froze.
I don't think he was that bad yesterday.
He wasn't
that
bad.
He lost the ball 19 times.
Nah, go him. Stop
19 times.
All right, so look, like he was actually setting up in dangerous positions. Like first of all, that pass to RLC for him to drive, like that and that cutback to Pulisic, that was his that was actually very creative.
That was a sick move.
And I was going to say, if we're taking
the ball 19 times,
if we're taking his whole game into account, it was average because the first half was good. It was that second half was just shit.
Say
the second half, I can't lie. That second half, I can't lie, was shit. But most of our team were.
But that goes to Tuchel too. You should have seen that though.
Like I said,
that first half, I
there's the three people I'm blaming this game on.
CHO, like he was actually creating decent chances for getting in good positions, and as usual,
Tuchel.
he had no one to be in the box.
Alex, I hear you about Ruben. I think Ruben's problem is that I think he was stuck in two minds. Or should I be a 6?
Yeah.
Should I be an 8? Should I be a 6? Like, bro, do what you're best at. Drive with the ball. Hey, Ruben. You could score, you know that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you remember when him and Hazard? Do you remember when him and Hazard has a
that curler?
Yeah.
I mean, you could score, man.
That was sweet.
You want to try that? You want to try to shoot sometimes, bro? Like I was getting frustrated too. I'm like, bro, Ruben, you a monster in the midfield. You letting Fred get the ball off of you. That's blasphemy right there. You don't do that. You're supposed, bro. Ruben but it wasn't as bad. I feel like he was just not aggressive enough as much as I wanted him to be.
I think he was holding the ball way too long. Like I said, for me, the reason we lost is in this particular order: CHO, Tuchel, and a midfield.
What about Werner? What about Werner's misses?
Yeah,
I was going to say Werner's top of the list for me.
Well. I'm not blaming him for losing the game.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, his job there is getting
crazy. How can you not put Werner in there?
God forbid.
You know what?
Okay.
Oh my god!
When did he had clear chance like what like CHO did?
The corner where he
Yo, that's a hard fit. That's a
how was that hard finish? I'm bagging that 9 times out of 10.
Bro, shoot it with your
left. What about that left foot shot in the box that he made? AWB block.
He is a $50 million striker.
No, the one that he made AWB to block.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the two defenders in front of him. He had the ball in the far post.
You made AWB.
Damn, Alex. No, don't tell me you are.
I'm not saying he had a good game, but I'm not blaming him
terrible game
for the loss. You're not understanding my thing. Those 3 I'm blaming for the loss.
Okay, wait, I understand.
That's but if you're blaming a player for the loss because he missed chances, then you also have to blame the other player that missed chances.
Because Oscar, I agree, but the first for me, CHO's chances are actually 100% scoring.
Okay.
What? Werner
it wasn't 100% scoring.
One at a time.
Yeah, I want to throw out this stat for you. Of the 78 touches that ZH had, he lost the ball 24% of the time.
So that's not bad, actually.
That goes back to the point I was making earlier.
For the offensive,
he's a creative player, bro.
No,
he didn't create.
Stop making it seem like creative players have to be inefficient. That's not in the job description. You can be creative and actually keep the ball and actually make stuff happen at the same time. He's constantly
Ziyech
trying
had a
balls
decent game,
that are
actually.
not on.
He's a
Like
risk
now,
You
taker.
can lose the ball, but if you lose it too
Yes,
much,
because
that's a
it's a
problem.
higher risk. You're right, Bobo.
One
He's a
thing-
It's a
risk.
higher
He's
risk.
a risk
Yes.
taker. He's not like
Yes.
he's not like Hudson-Odoi that loves all he does is cross the ball, which
Yeah,
is true.
if it
But
was
he's like-
Jorginho's possession 24 loss, that was different.
I'm
He
not
lost the
saying.
ball
Jorginho was at
11
24%.
times.
Look, Jorginho, man. Let's talk about.
That's
Jorginho.
what I'm saying.
Like the difference is Jorginho passes next to him. Ziyech is trying to cross, switch the ball, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ziyech does a lot of
But
different.
he didn't do any of that.
So also
He
does
did.
cross the ball
In the
which
first
is not
half, he
bad.
did.
But I'm
Who did he
just
cross
saying,
the ball to?
who?
And he literally put the ball across the 6-yard box, which, as I said earlier, if Werner wasn't playing
But we don't
on
have a
his
centre
time this
forward.
fucking game,
We don't
we'd
have a
have
center.
scored.
Werner ran the other way. But it doesn't matter if we don't have a center forward. That's an easy chance on goal, and nobody went for it.
That's my
the
point,
problem.
bro. It's like, but
I
hold
could
up.
pick out.
That's
I could,
Werner,
for instance,
bro.
I could pick
That's
out a
Werner.
striker. I could pick out a striker from League 2, and they'd be able to score that fucking chance because they'd be in the box.
Can
What
I also,
chance?
Can I also say about Werner?
Instincts are not
Guys,
striking
What chance?
hang on.
The
Let
one
me
that's
say this.
the
Let me say
times
this. Let me say this.
Alex, he's talking about Ziyech cutback.
With Werner, right? One thing we're also missing. You know that CHO chance in the first 3 minutes where we saying he should have cut back? He ran away from the goal.
Yes.
He ran away from the goal, and nobody
Yes.
caught that.
No,
Yes.
look, that is so wrong. He ran horizontally, so he would stay on side.
No,
There-
that's fine, but he should have just kept going forward because nobody
Yeah, but
was
he-
near him.
He would have been
he
on
could've-
counter.
No, he
He
could have
would
run
have
at
cut
the same
and he
rate
will
as
go
Joe.
outside.
Good God.
No, but we have to understand this. Players might not even trust Werner to make that opportunity. in the first place.
Exactly.
They might back themselves to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? That will,
back
if you play
myself.
football, yeah, if you play football and you're better than a guy, I'm telling you, you're not passing to.
Yes.
100%.
100%. Like, yo, this guy might miss.
That's a typical pickup game mentality. If you pro, you pass it no matter what.
Bro,
No,
you gotta be a
that's
ruthless
Werner missing
player.
chances, and he's
No.
supposed to
Passing
fuck
it.
his lines.
That's
Like,
something
would
that
not pass
never
if
will
I'm
happen.
1v1.
If
Don't matter who's next to me.
I promise you, if the coach will get a sniff of that, you will not make a pitch. I promise
Then
you.
how does he keep
I
making
think
the pitch
Tuchel
then?
is tired of Werner himself.
He keeps getting to the score
If
11.
the
and he
coach,
keeps
if any
dropping
manager
sinkers.
get a sniff of the player, will not pass to the player because he thinks he's better than him in finishing or anything, he's not gonna make it. I promise you.
Okay, let's not say because he thinks it's better at finishing. Well, but when you see tendencies happen a lot, and you be like, well, you know, I have a better chance of scoring it than giving it to this man next to me.
Cho
I'm scoring
should
it.
score.
I'm sorry.
Cho-
Tendencies.
And Alex, I think
I'm
he
saying
should be
he
mad.
should have
He'll be
passed it.
mad if Cho passed.
Exactly. He should not pass it to Werner, not because he was in a better position or anything, because Cho is actually in a better position in that particular time. Cho was
Because he ran away
100%
from the goal.
right to take.
Because
Yeah.
he ran away
Cho
from the
just
goal.
gotta know how to use his left.
We
foot.
need to criticize Cho for finishing, not for decision making.
Okay, look.
Yes,
The-
exactly.
At the end of it, all of the attackers, the 3 starting attackers, were all crap.
Yeah.
They were not good enough to win the game. That's it. You can pick out your favorite player and say, well, he was kind of better than the other. No, we didn't win. They were crap. They weren't even involved in any of the goal scoring.
Justice, they haven't touched
saved that penalty.
Have you guys seen the chat?
first half?
Also,
haven't
speaking
got-
of the penalty, big up to
It
you.
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter,
That's the whole
Fata.
time.
It doesn't matter. If you not score, it doesn't matter.
Wait, have you
It's
guys
just
seen
they
this
were
chart,
good.
right? On
It doesn't
going on
matter
Twitter?
how many
Who
times
doesn't-
they
I
touch
agree
it.
to that as well. I agree. We were poor in that first half alone.
Look, this chart that was
We
on
agree to
Twitter
that.
about how isolated Timo Werner was. I think they said most of our passes, none of our passes were going down the middle. All our passes were going wide. You know, wide. We're playing wide ball. So people are.
Because
That's actually
outside of the box,
tactic.
they don't want to give
No,
him
I
the
know
ball.
it's tactic.
That's tactic. Man
But
United
they say
pushed
Timo-
us in the middle.
I'm saying Timo makes himself isolated because he runs away from. He's the type of guy that runs away from the ball all the time. He just all is in his head. Let me run. I have pace. Let me run. He's not.
He does do that. He does do that. But I think one of the things that also hindered us was they had 3 in midfield, and McTominay would drop into the defensive line. So they had a 3 at the back at sometimes, and that meant that Werner he had 2 centre backs either side of him, and he sometimes wasn't an option for a pass. And then there were other times you felt like if you pass it to him, he would lose it because he'd done it a couple times already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. Oscar.
What was the difference?
Go ahead.
So, Alex, just
What was-
before you go, Paul Jr. says first it was no preseason, then confidence, then he's a winger, then the system, then lack of yellow sweets on the bench. How many excuses can Werner get, bro? No one's giving Werner anymore. Excuses are all done.
We're done, bro.
When Cho and Werner get one-on-one, I pray to God. When anyone gets one-on-one, I pray to God. Like, it's the same thing with Chelsea. AV says Ziyech superior to Werner and Cho. Cho ruined chance in the first half, overrated like Tammy. Werner should start on the wing, not a striker for the Premier League. Man, he's not a winger either.
Not even
Lampard,
a winger, bro. He kills our build-up play, man. What don't man understand, bro? Like, what do you mean? We've seen it how many times he's played for us on the left.
Werner is not a striker. He's inside forward.
Well, cause you just gotta read the comment and realize that this ain't a person that knows ball very well. So it is what it is. Don't waste your energy.
Also,
let me ask the guy.
Jesters, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, Jester. My bad.
Yeah, Jester was gonna go.
The first half of this game was no different than the first half of Juventus. Period.
What?
The only difference is Trevor scored. It was the exact same thing. Our front line did nothing to score. I mean, they had chances, didn't put them away. The difference was against Juventus, Trevor put one in the box off a set piece, and that made Juventus come out and play. We didn't get that in this game. So Man U could sit back. And sit back and sit back. And guess what? If we hadn't got that penalty, we would have lost that game 1-0.
Yeah, true.
Actually, we could have lost the game 2-1 because if it wasn't Fred, Chip, and Mendy, it could have been somebody else. We could have lost the game.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is the difference was in Juventus, we scored. And everybody's like, well, we won 4-0.
That's what I'm saying from the beginning. That's why I'm blaming Cho is the main problem. For us drawing the game, because you can laugh as much as you want, but at Chelsea form now, if we do not score first, specifically in the early game,
that's kind of how
you have a point.
That's just a tactic that goes for every team. You know, like you want to score first.
No.
Hold on. You want to score first.
Liverpool forward. I don't care how many they pack in the back. With Liverpool forward, they will bank 15 goals on that United.
Because Liverpool forward is Mohamed Salah, which is literally like top 3 players in the world right now. Mo Salah.
It's not even Mo Salah, it's the system.
Second off,
Alex, you're asking our strikers and our wingers to be hyper-clinical. That's the problem here. If you look at Liverpool's team, look how many chances they missed because of that system.
Hold on a second.
You're arguing personnel, but it could easily be an argument of system.
That game that we draw versus Burnley, did Werner play as a striker?
No, it was Havertz.
Yeah,
how did we draw that game?
I have the same problem with Havertz. I think Havertz and Werner are intertwined together. Both of them. They played us, bro. We got played. We thought we're getting strikers. We thought we're getting creative players. I thought Havertz was going to be a creative player too. We were played. All of a sudden, he's a striker out of nowhere. I thought Werner was going to be just a goal scorer, a power shooter. But all of a sudden, he's a hider. He's always hiding.
For me, Kai Havertz is it between the minds what's his best position?
I don't even know what Kai Havertz's best position is.
He's still young. We're learning with Kai Havertz. I don't want Kai Havertz to get the slam what Timo Werner does or anybody else on that team.
Man, Kai Havertz gets
why doesn't Cho get that same
generational talent. Bro.
Why did Cho? Because he has.
Why doesn't he get that same excuse though?
He's
young.
Because I will bet you my house. If Kai Havertz was on that position yesterday, that Cho
would have done shit. He would
have done shit, bro.
We've seen him in that position.
Kai's been poor this season. Let's.
He did the same thing
bet money over Cho.
Look, what we're saying here is Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, Romelu Lukaku, whoever else, they're playing the number 9 position. And as we all know, we don't play in our number 9s.
Yeah, you're right.
They never get service. It doesn't matter who it is at number 9.
You're right.
They're not going to get the service they need. Now, some of it could be down to the way they're playing. I'm not going to give them full excuse and immunity over not getting the service. But we have to be better at playing to our number 9, especially when Rom comes back in. He has to have the service because he will finish.
Yeah.
If we were talking about not finishing,
yeah,
we'll put the ball back in net if he gets the service.
By the way, you saw how shaky Lindelof and Bailly were in that first half. Can you imagine Lukaku in that position instead of Werner? If he was the one, bro,
he would make runs too. So.
bro, all of the chances
I
we had
think Kai
yesterday.
Havertz
Chose,
would have done better than
Burners,
Timo Werner
Rudiger,
yesterday in that
Lukaku's
match.
Yeah,
all
he
of
would have. He would have.
That's
So-
what I'm saying. Cho is the first. Tuchel is the
bro.
second for me.
Timo,
Also,
Timo.
by the way, what am I?
Who is the
Why?
Change
So,
that.
hang on.
Change that.
Why are we
Timo,
here?
Timo,
Why,
Cho
Timo.
can't be the first, mate, bro.
why am I
Cho
here?
is
It's not
the
the
first
person to
right
make
now? What is
mistakes as
going
to why
on?
we conceded either.
How many
What?
counter attacks did Cho stop? Let me ask you that.
Huh?
How
What?
many
Sorry.
counter attacks did Cho stop? How many
Oh,
times
he's
did
tracking back?
Rashford on the break and Cho was tracking back?
Yeah, he tracked back
I
very
did
well.
2 times.
So he
My-
did
but
his
my-
job.
No,
My
no.
question is though, why does Havertz get patience and Cho doesn't?
Havertz don't
Because
get
Havertz
patience
is better
from
than
me.
Cho.
I mean, he
No,
gets
I'm
patience
talking
from other
like
Based on
people.
what?
but he
Yeah,
said
No, I
they
like
beat you
Havertz.
twice.
Yeah,
There's
based on
there's
what? That's such a
evidence.
bullshit argument.
There
Based
is
on
no
what?
evidence to suggest that. There is absolutely no evidence
Well,
to
yes,
suggest.
there is.
like I'm just
There
going
is.
off of what
Won
Alex
Championship
said.
League.
There
Is there a
is.
big
There
chance?
is.
He
That's
won this
right.
championship league. Cho didn't.
I don't care,
Big up,
It's
GM.
yo. I don't care what you care.
bro.
But
I've said this
look,
before. No, Michi Batshuayi has scored a goal that's won us the fucking league
No,
title.
he didn't. No, he
Yes,
didn't.
did.
He
Yes,
just
he did.
he got us early game. We won it because it was early. We still had 2 games.
Did he not score the goal?
Yeah,
that meant
He
But
did
hey,
score,
look,
but we still had 2 games to
my
do it.
God.
Okay.
It's
He
not
did
even.
it
It's
early.
not even
Let me ask you
about
one
that.
more
It's
question.
a,
He
Let me
made
ask
us win early 2 games.
no,
Not to let.
but Alex, just tell
Learn
us
your stats,
why
Scott.
Please let me ask one question.
Havertz is better than
Like
Cho.
my
Like,
question
no,
is
no,
not.
just-
I can
one
answer that
question.
question. I
Look,
can
No, I'm
answer
go
talking
that
to
ahead.
Alex.
Okay, you ask, but wait, I
You
just
and
want
Cho, I can't
One at
answer
a
you and
time,
Cho, bro.
people.
You
No,
know,
let's
you
just
know
go,
it's
man. Let's just go.
I'm
I
asking
just want to
Alex,
say
why
something.
does Havertz
One at a time.
get more patience than Cho? They're both the same age.
Good question, right? But I say it's like this. Look, there's no way. Why you're right. There's no reason why Havertz should be getting more leeway because I'm gonna ask this one question, right? For the price that we've paid for him and the hype that came with
Alex
Havertz,
Price.
the generational talent that came with him, plus the price tag, has he
I can answer you that.
has he fulfilled what you guys were expecting from him? Just
No,
yes or
not
no?
yet.
Not yet.
No.
But
Like okay,
did-
let me not
no,
act
no,
like
no.
he's in
You
his
ask
prime.
the question.
Wait,
Let other people
wait,
answer it if you ask the question.
Wait,
Don't
let
answer
me
your own
rephrase the
question.
question. I just want to rephrase the question. Not saying he's in his prime, right? I'm saying like, do you think like, as a young player right now, he's top 5 young players in the world right now? Is the question.
Ooh,
Havertz.
No, not even close.
Have
Exactly.
some
For me?
shame, Gem.
I
Exactly.
think so.
Wait, what?
But
I can name the 5 right now.
Understand right now
Okay,
what this
name
is
it.
based on.
Bleeding
All right,
Blue.
hold on.
Name
You
it.
said
Top. Yeah, Bleeding. Put him on the big screen, Lewis. Let me hear your top 5 youngsters in the world.
Okay, bet.
Right now?
Pedri, it would then be Holland, number
And
3
his
would,
position.
and
You didn't
Kai
say
Havertz's position.
Yeah.
You said
And
top
also,
3 in
what
the
is- say that
world.
in
You
position.
didn't say
No, forget
Yeah,
the position.
you
I'm
said-
talking about top 5 young players in the
Overall.
world. No
Because that's the hype
position.
that Havertz came with, no?
Okay, so
Yeah, let's compare him to defenders then. Let's.
Do it.
Oh,
Is
Trent.
it even up there? I mean, why would you even compare it to a
Mbappe
defender
is
in the
better
sense
than
that
they're
look,
both
I'm
22.
gonna say something. When you're an attacker, you get more recognition as being even the best young defender. So if he was even being close to being good, he would already be in the conversation. He's not just really good. He's not anything special. Is what I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's bad. He's not just special.
I disagree with you.
He's not special.
I
I'm
disagree
sorry.
with
Well,
you.
everybody
Hang on,
who
did I
works
name
in
my
the
5?
football, in actual football, not us who don't, think he's the next big thing. Okay, the new United coach, Ralph Ragnick, compared him
Wanted
to
him.
Johan Cruyff.
Them German.
Okay, they know a little bit more
Germans-
about football than we do.
Them Germans.
Yeah, but-
Bayern wanted him.
Yeah, because they also had great things like the German, like, you know, Hansi Flick,
Yes.
Nagelsmann, all that. They also had great things to say about Hudson-Odoi. Let's talk about what they've done at Chelsea. I'm not even adverse to it. I think Havertz might be better.
He
than
won
Cho, but
us
I wasn't
a
saying
championship
why.
league. That's what he's done at Chelsea.
No, the team did. Drop
No,
that
like
right now.
why?
The team
Why
won
is
the
he as a
championship,
player
not
better?
Havertz.
Like, explain it.
He's
If you
not
can't
better
explain it,
than
then
Cho. He's
don't
not
say
better.
it.
Can I try to? Because
Yeah, please.
First of all, Havertz, I know it was the Bundesliga, but he was the best player on a team. He led their team. Whatever they did, it was because of Kai Havertz.
So was
If you
Werner.
looked at the dross that was around him, and the positions they were in the table, it was because of Kai Havertz. Okay, Callum's never done anything like that. Okay, and that's part of the reason why he shouldn't be playing for Chelsea right now. He should be on loan, getting the minutes and developing his game. right? Because that's what Jadon Sancho did. And everybody rates Jadon Sancho over Callum.
What about Chelsea, though? What have they done both for Chelsea? I don't care what he did in the Bundesliga.
I was going
Look,
to
as
say,
of
You
right
asked
now,
the
I don't
question
even trust
why I
the
think
Bundesliga,
he's
bro.
better than Callum.
Sancho
And I'm
literally
trying to
didn't do that.
I
explain
do
it.
not trust the Bundesliga. So if you come from the Bundesliga after scoring 50 goals to English Premier
Okay,
League,
so are we comparing Cho?
Now
Are
you're
we
back.
comparing Cho to
This is the
Kai
problem.
Havertz?
This is the
Yes.
Are we
problem.
comparing Cho to Kai Havertz?
No, I just look, because let's be honest, Kai Havertz was amazing in the Bundesliga. He scored 17 goals for Bayer Leverkusen. His Bundesliga record is better than Pulisic's, but I think Pulisic's a better player. Werner's Bundesliga record is better than Pulisic's, but I think Pulisic's a better player. So explain to me what he's done at Chelsea that makes you think he's more valuable. That's all I'm asking.
Then who?
Pulisic or Cho?
Then Cho?
Or Pulisic?
Who scored more goals? Cho
Who's got more game
or
time?
Kai Havertz?
Who's got more game time?
Okay.
He's a better creator.
I don't care about the game time. It's not my decision to put him on the field.
But if
what
you
do
get
you
more
mean,
game
bro?
time,
But there's
you can get
context
more
behind it.
opportunities
Why
to
he has
score.
so much game time? Because it's $100 million. $100 million.
Oh my God! It's like my decision. It's not like why 2 managers didn't do it. 3.
Oh, don't do this again.
Don't do this again. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. How was I supposed to compare them then?
Because you're saying, what did managers do? You watch these players, so give me your opinion of them on the pitch. I can tell you
I'll
what the
take Kai
managers
Havertz all day.
I can tell you what the managers did, because Hudson-Odoi wasn't starting at the beginning of the season. Then he came into the team and people were saying he should start. So it doesn't really matter. Like, what are you seeing with your eyes that means Kai Havertz is I don't even know why we're comparing Havertz and Cho, because they play in different positions.
Like,
but
I'm not comparing. My thing is, why is it when it comes to Havertz is I don't know. We waiting.
That's the reason the whole thing started.
Yeah, I'm not comparing. And for the comments, don't get me wrong, I feel like Havertz will come good. It's just my rhetoric around, like, why does he get so much patience and Cho get so much slander? My bad for the big one.
Havertz has to get on his knees and thank Jesus that he scored the Champions League final goal. Because if he did not, my God, if bro, I mean, he's not really done anything special. Like, I'm talking about So let's just cancel the generational talent from him, right? He's not. I don't think he's generational, as we say. He's a good talent, but like, have you seen something special? Like, wow, this guy is generational. Like, wow.
Let me ask you: Did you see something special from De
Mbappe.
Bruyne when? Did you see something special from De Bruyne when he was at Chelsea? Did you see something special from Salah when he's at Chelsea?
But I'm so glad.
A lot of butts from you. It's a lot of butts.
Alex, I'm so glad that you said that, because guess what happened with those players? We lost patience because they weren't the finished article at a young time.
I didn't say sell Cho. I didn't say sell Werner. I didn't say sell ZH.
Fair enough.
I didn't say Havertz. What's his name?
I think personally, we need to make sure. We need to
We
make
need
sure.
to get rid of. We need to get rid of ZH.
Werner.
I said if
raise your hand, people. Who wants Timo Werner out in January, please?
Oh, me. I'm raising my hand, bro.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're not losing anything. We're not. It's not like we're losing anything. We are not losing anything if we lose Timo Werner. I think he's going to be a good squad player until this. From Nagelsmann. Let him go to Bayern Munich. Bayern will sell him for $60 million. Come get him.
Because first of all, there's plenty of games to play, and he can actually still show something. If we lose him, nothing we can bring specifically that actually can improve us. I don't think so.
I think Timo off the bench wouldn't be too bad. Same thing for Ziyech. However, them starting is a problem for me. Our front line.
That's a really good argument. Why Timo Werner started? That's the biggest problem. Not sell him in January.
Because Timo Werner had a good training session. That's what Tuchel said.
No.
He had a good training session.
The reason he started is because Havertz has been shit since he's come in for Lukaku. That's why he started.
Someone said it.
Let's think about that.
Saying you want a 22-year-old to fulfill his price and role in 1 year, comparing Havertz to Cho, delusional. If Werner was from our academy, we'd call him R9. We really
wouldn't.
I swear you lot picked the team based on Juve results, though. I swear, though. Then we had too many players not quite fully confident.
And I look.
I swear you did that, though, before this game.
Pick up Gabriel as well, my G.
if we're being completely honest here, we need a set front three for the next couple of months, because I think the chopping and changing is also hurting us because we can't get no cohesion in our front three. So for me personally, it should be Cho, Mount, and Lukaku up front. Both of them.
Mount. I want Mount to fight for his place back, bro. What is Mount?
I want Pulisic.
Or
Mount
Pulisic,
Pulisic,
Cho, and Lukaku up front,
and
that's
Mount
fine as well.
on four.
All I'm saying is
Or
we need a
or
set
Kai
front
Havertz.
three. What do Liverpool and Man City have that we don't? A
But
set front three.
We can't have that. They've been injured.
Man City don't have it. No. Man City don't have a set front three. But what they have is everyone that comes in is of the same quality as the person they're replacing. There is no drop off. That's what they have.
And
That's
they've
what
been
we
in the system for how many years?
And the system.
Most of them.
You're right.
They played it and played it and played it and played it. So they understand what.
The one person they've had that's dropped off, Grealish, now isn't playing. He hasn't had the best of starts, but even when he was like playing just before he got injured, they benched him because he wasn't quite to the ability or the level that everyone else was at. So they benched him. Because
that's fair.
Foden's playing better, Jesus is playing better, Mahrez is playing better, Sterling's playing better. The level is kept the same, and that's my argument. Going back to the Alonso thing. When you bring someone in, and it's the same with Kepa. When you bring someone in, the level needs to stay the same. If you're a top
similar, or
you can't, or there's a slight drop off. Like there's a very slight. You can't be like dropping a player, and you've got to be like, right, I'm worried about this player because we know he's nowhere near the level.
And what
the level has to stay the same.
And what we said the second Marcus Chilwell got injured, we are worried. This was our most key position along with right wing back. We was worried, and this is the reason why we was worried.
There's something I really want Chelsea to add to their game, and I don't know if it's not something from like Tuchel's not been telling them. Attack the back post, please. Attack the near post, please. Like attack the post. Like
we only have one player that does that.
Like Man City, bro. What Man City scores one way. If you look how Man City play, go to the side, cut back. That song gets to the front post, or song gets to the back post, or song just arrives to the box late, then shoots and scores. I don't see that type of combination in Chelsea's game. No one ever attacks any post. We just want to like either cut in and shoot, or we score from set pieces, or something different. Like I need that.
One person does when he plays.
You said what?
Christian Pulisic is the only one that makes near post and far post runs.
100%. That's why I've been saying it.
He's the only one.
100%. I mean, Pulisic. Like everyone, on Twitter, you see the Pulisic out. He sucks. No, his pure ability of just having the intellect to be in the right place at the right time to score it's different. And like someone like Cho too has to add that to his game. His off-ball game has to be better. And like. More goals and more assists to come from being in the 6-yard box, not always being outside the box and everything. We just need guys that are ruthless to score. You got to be ruthless if you're playing for Chelsea FC. You have to be. There's no time for, he's a kid, he's growing up. Understand that. There's context behind that. But you have to be ruthless and take these chances because we're on top right now. And I do not want to lose a point. Because I already said even last month, I was like, Chelsea is not going to be second after last month. I forgot, it was October when we got to first place. I said it, we're not coming down from first place. But we have to win these games. We have to take our chances. We have to be ruthless. And that falls down to the attackers more than anybody. And that's the problem because of our movements are not key. We need key movements in that middle. Key movements in the 6-yard box. Key movements. That's it, man. I get frustrated watching our attackers sometimes because they're so stagnant, they're so one-minded. You need to be everywhere.
There is a reason why Manchester City has more people present in the box because we have only one defensive midfielder that stays back for counter-attack. We have to have two. We have to have somebody.
But think about who is the defensive midfielder for Man City? It's Fernandinho, right? Fernandinho.
No,
Rodri.
Oh, it's Rodri. Okay. Rodri, right? And it's usually Gundogan that pushes up more, right? For them. So and usually Roger will stay back, and he does. And it's Gundogan just scored the last game. But most times the front threes that are really at the back post. I mean, guys like Bernardo Silva scoring, always at the back post.
You're missing the point. Actually, Gundogan sometimes scores headers at the back post too.
Exactly, which is so crazy.
What I'm saying is it depends on the structure because I don't want to bring Jorginho slander because I'm going to be accused
Just
of
bring
it
it.
again.
Just bring it. Just bring it.
Because literally, we afraid the counter attack because it will expose Jorginho. Tuchel said at the press conference, we have to play like that because we're afraid we're going to get counter on the transition back.
But I just said, the
said.
best thing Chelsea has been doing this season was stopping the counter attack. We really do not get countered as much.
There's a reason
Well,
why.
are you guys arguing that the system is not good or what?
No, I'm not
no.
saying that. I'm just
we're
saying that
arguing
our
we
front
have to
players,
adapt system for specific players.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm
that
saying.
is true. The reason why we
It's
do it.
true.
But listen,
It's
100%. So what's your argument? Are you guys
Tuchel
arguing?
says
Are
at the
you
press
guys arguing
conference.
that Jorginho can't play lone DM? Is that your argument?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really an argument.
Yes,
That's a fact.
no, it's not that.
He can't play
He
lone
can.
DM.
No, he cannot.
He can.
He cannot
You really
push
can't
Well, he
play lone
up
doesn't
DM.
even play
as
low DM
high.
in this system because he has 3 guys behind him. I mean, 3 guys
In
with
a
him.
possession-based system, bro, you guys can. Bro, listen. Jorginho can play lone DM in a possession-based system. You guys are letting Lampard's system and Lampard, how Lampard play affect the way you look at Jorginho. The same as you guys did with Rudiger and a lot of players like that. If you look at the Euros, if you look at Napoli, Jorginho's always played lone DM. It's a matter of systems.
He didn't. Verratti is
Yeah.
always there, man.
But
No, he's
Verratti
not.
pushes up though,
man.
and Verratti's
He's
not
not.
like
Go,
defensively
go and watch
sound.
how they played. They played.
I
He
watched
dropped
it
into
how
the
he-
middle.
Yeah.
They played a back 3 at times with him as a central centre back because he dropped between the 2 centre backs and the wing and the full backs pushed wide.
Scott.
That's how
So
they
what?
played.
Here's
What
the thing, here's the
what
thing.
about Sarri's system? What role did
You know, he was shocking.
Jorginho
He was a
play?
regista.
He was,
Sorry.
and he was the possession man.
It was a regista, not just he wasn't a DM in
Stop
Sarri.
using the word that actually pisses me off just to hear it.
He was on the Sarri.
No,
he was
I mean you
a
can call him
regista.
anything you want, just don't use that word. It triggers
Oh.
me. Literally triggers
Well, I
me.
understand, but like that was his role on the Sarri.
He's not a DM.
But
He's not a DM. Exactly.
Jorginho is not a DM. That means defensive midfielder.
He's not just
defensive.
He's not, bro. There's different types
Bro,
of
he's
DMs.
bro.
Bro.
I was going to say,
Okay, what kind of
Bro,
type?
you're making it black and white. It's just,
It's literally
it's such a
in
casual
the
take
name.
what you're saying right now.
Yeah,
You're,
but
you're saying Jorginho's not a destroyer.
Jester, I
Save's
don't
not a
know. Is
destroyer.
there English
There's different
different
types
in
of
English?
DMs in football.
Jorginho is
I
a
was
good
gonna say,
defender, though. Jorginho is a good defender. Let's
You
stop.
can,
Let's
you
stop
can say
that
there's
myth.
different types of sixes,
No,
but
but
there's
let's
only
stop
one
that myth.
type
Like
of
Jorginho is not a
defensive
good
midfielder.
defender, though. He's very good at intercepting the ball. He really has good defensive awareness. The only thing is that his physicality is not up to where his mind is.
Exactly.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
But his interception and
you
Jorginho's
asked the
his
question and I
defensive awareness is
answered you.
actually good.
You asked the question, the difference between Manchester City and Chelsea. There's a specific difference because our defensive midfielder does not go as high because if we get on a transition, he's the weakest point.
Okay, we're
That's
going to have to
exactly
agree to
the reason.
disagree because I don't agree with that because I feel
Oh,
like
you disagree with Tuchel because he actually said it at the press
Tuchel
conference.
never said that we scared to get countered. When did Tuchel ever say we are scared to be countered?
When he commented
When?
about Lampard comment before Lampard, he said, "I looked at the Chelsea, and the Chelsea got it, and all scores because it was during the transition, and they exposed Jorginho because he was slow. Look it up.
So Tuchel said because Jorginho was slow, so
He did
Jorginho
make
got
the
exposed.
name, but there's a reason why he did make the name.
That's cap, bro. No, that's cap, bro. I'm
No.
sorry. That is, you can't. It wasn't
You know
like
what?
right now. The system we play don't even leave Jorginho exposed, except yesterday that he left him alone at the middle. But the system we play right now don't even leave Jorginho exposed. So I don't feel like because of
you
wait,
making my point.
My point
you
is
actually making
my
my
point
point.
is, look,
A system made so Jorginho will not look
won't be exposed. But my point is, I don't think that's the reason why we don't have people attacking the back post. I don't think that's the reason why. Because we conforming our system to Jorginho. That's why people are not attacking the back post because we get countered. That's
no, because there's more players. There's because of we have less players present.
We already
in the box
have
when
more
they cross
players
it.
in the box as usual. We already push up all the way to the 30-yard side of the opponent's half. So you're not going to tell me that this is because we're scared of being countered. Is why people don't attack the front post or the back post. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Now?
Yeah, we create the chances to get into the front and back post.
Yes, we create the chances already, and it's those front three players that have to be there. So if the ball is coming in from the right side,
Exactly.
the left winger has to get the back post.
Can somebody bring that comment? Always say Sam Hilioko, the guy made the chat. Why do you think our defense is so good? The guy asked the question.
I gotta make
specifically.
one last point before I leave.
Go on,
I gotta get
Jester.
ready for work. I never want to see that front three play together ever again.
I agree on that. I agree on
Fully
that.
agree. Yes.
Ever. So
Yes.
that's my final point.
That front three. I agree.
I gotta
with you.
get ready for work. Y'all have a blessed day, and
Jesters, big up yourself as
Jesters.
always. Appreciate you,
Yeah,
Dump.
Jesters.
Bless, bro. Paul Jr. says, which of our current attackers would have made an 18-man squad during the 2004 to 2012 era? None.
Lukaku actually made.
Oh no, Lukaku. Yes,
Era,
Lukaku.
who was our wingers in 2012 when we were playing the Champions League finals against?
Reece James. Well, no.
Andrew, do you want to drop that point?
Reece
we were
James
gonna
could
say
have
about
made.
30 minutes ago?
Reece James could have made.
What was that?
Reece
What?
James could have made.
What attacker that we have now would have made our 18-man squad in
attacker.
the 2004 to 2012 era?
Actually,
Well,
none.
I'm asking
Okay,
who
hang
else
on.
was our
None.
winger in 2012 though?
Lukaku would have done towards the latter, but we had a Nelka, didn't we, as well? Up
Yeah.
front. He wouldn't have played.
We had a Nelka.
Did you see how? Did you see how
06,
Drogba?
07 you would have,
How
because we had
many
Shevchenko and he was
assists
flopping.
Drogba
Yeah.
did for Anelka? Did you see how many assists? Remember?
And
How two
Lampard.
strikers work?
Yeah.
Cameron Weeks also says we all know we dominated the game, but we are still relying on defenders to score because we have no leaders in the attack, in my opinion. The person we brought in to fix this, Lukaku, was still clearly injured. Exactly that. Our attack is poor without Lukaku, and no one really takes responsibility
I
for
wouldn't
goals
say
for
it's
him because
because
no
of
one's
Lukaku. I
clinical.
say it's because of Timo
No
Werner.
one.
Like,
Yeah, I was
Timo
gonna say,
Werner,
I'd actually agree with Alex on that. Like, I just want someone who understands where
I
they
just
need to
want
be.
exactly. That's a big difference. I just don't
Like,
think Timo
if-
Werner
if
has a
you're gonna
brain to
play-
play number 9.
Like, the thing is, with Pulisic, people talk about Pulisic against Juventus. The reason I don't think he was poor was because he was playing as a false nine. And as a false nine, it's not your job to be getting further forward and score the goals. It's to link up
It was
play.
a split. It was a split defenders. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That
and you
splitting
drag
defenders.
people towards you to create space in behind, and you're the one that links the play. Look how Firmino does it for Liverpool. But Timo Werner's not a false nine. You're a number 9. You're a striker. So get in the box. And if you're not a striker, then what are you doing at this football club? Because you're not a winger. You're not a striker. Like, you don't do anything. As I said earlier, technically speaking, he's up there with one of the worst footballers I've ever seen. Michy Batshuayi is better technically than him.
I wouldn't say that, but go ahead.
Bro, just go and watch. Like, Michy Batshuayi is better.
Michy
technically.
Batshuayi had the best skills sometimes.
That is the genuine definition of trash versus garbage.
No, I'm
know,
saying like Michy
like,
Batshuayi
that's the
had
whole
mad
point.
skills of
I don't
finishing.
think anybody wins.
Question.
we need a overall striker like Drogba again. I was just watching a lot of Drogba's highlights. Obviously, I watched him play for real, but it's just like the all round technical striker. Or he could pass, he could hold the ball, and everything. We always get strikers that could either do one thing and can't do the other one, or he could play like this, but he's not fitting our system to play like this and that. Like, my God, we just need someone to.
Yeah, I do think we do need to maybe calm down a little bit. I do think Lukaku is going to come back into this team, and he is going to start playing well and scoring goals. Like, he was scoring with minimal service before.
I miss him, bro.
We went through this horrible period where we had no strikers, and it's cost us 2 victories, really, the Burnley game and this game.
Yes.
We should have won both. But now we're going into a run where throughout all of December, we don't have any tough games. Well, I mean, we have tough games. We don't have any big teams.
Actually, Watford doing doing a really good.
Yeah. But if we're talking about Watford, this is just the Premier League. That's what it is. Watford are bottom half team. If we're complaining about Watford, then we might as well not be in this league. I'm saying, like, we don't have to face City, we don't have to face Liverpool, we don't have Tottenham, we don't have no top 6 games.
I think West Ham away is the only
Oscar, it's not even that. Listen to this. Our team is good enough to only lose to about 2 teams in this league. So I'm expecting at least about 20 points from the next 6 games. That is one thing. Second of all, has nobody mentioned the fact that Kovacic is not back yet? Where in the fuck is Kovacic right now? I miss him so bad. Where is he? He was like our main creator from the midfield, and he's just gone.
Remember when people wanted him out too in the beginning?
Yes. And it's like, people are just being like, oh, he's injured. He's injured.
One second, everyone. A big up Go AM saying passion pressing, badge kissing, and knee sliding. Some players have 1 or 2, but only Mickey Mount and Bored Rice have mastered all the elements. We even managed to slip in some Rice slander. Nice. Paul Jr. says Morata. Oh, no. No, sorry.
Think about it, though. Think about it.
Genuine.
Think about it.
He had. I promise you, Lewis.
Rodrigo,
on technical ability,
you
that's
were
a
missing.
genuine argument
We
to be had.
earlier had the same.
No,
We're
no.
down so fucking
For his
bad.
work rate, the 1v1's exactly the same.
I don't care about work rate.
Bro, wait, can I ask something to the panel?
If Morata is the answer or fucking batshit or whatever his name is, we're asking the wrong questions.
But Lewis, my whole point is they're terrible, and I still think they're at least on par or better technically than Werner.
Do you want to know why? Because Werner is in the present and they're in the past. We
Bro,
go
I
back
feel
to
like
the
he's better
past
than
and
Werner,
the
I'm not gonna
exact same.
lie.
We'll say it the other way around. Like you got
get on the train, Zavi. With that last comment.
You get on the train.
Who was on the train?
I actually got a question though. Like, Justice said, we never should play this.
My
bad.
That was me. I think.
Hold on. We should never play this front three again. Is it we shouldn't play this front three, or we shouldn't play Werner in that striker position?
Werner. I'll happily play the other two together because they've shown they can play together.
Yes, it is just Werner.
It is.
I don't think Ziyech should start either, but Ziyech can come from the bench.
See it enough.
But Ziyech does not have a bad game though. Why?
But I think Ziyech is gaining momentum though. Like,
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, do you think when our squad is fit, do you think Ziyech should start?
Oh no.
That's what I'm saying.
What is your front three? What is your best front three?
I'm not playing Werner on against low block teams.
I'm not playing Werner. Period.
That's what the stupid. That's I said it.
We're one of the three best teams in the league. Everybody's about to play low block against us.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Period. Just send the guy to Bundesliga. Let him go back with his man, Nagelsmann.
Oh,
here we go.
Here comes the slander.
No, it's not a slander, bro. Come on, Pata. You've known me from. You've heard me say this since last season. I've kept the same energy. Send him back to the Bundesliga. Send him back to the Bundesliga. Let him play with Nagelsmann. And let.
What the hell,
Pata? I don't want to see you balls.
What?
Well, Pata lay down and spread his leg like he's about to deliver something.
Damn.
I was watching the World Cup draw.
I know, but we still have to watch your World Cups.
Oh,
wait, what is your best front three?
I said it, Pulisic, Lukaku, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Pulisic.
You don't even want to say CHO.
No, CHO. On form, CHO.
That killed you.
It didn't. It really didn't.
You have to say it.
I actually thinking. If you want my best three,
yeah.
Best three. I think it will be Pulisic, Kai Havertz, and Ziyech. Oh, not Ziyech.
Ziyech.
Hold on.
And CHO or Mount. Those three. Because I don't think we'll have a problem with Lukaku.
I thought we said on forums we played.
Yeah, we can't say form and then say Havertz because he ain't been in good enough form.
Nah, I just want to see.
And the false nine, he's been all right.
Everybody fit.
He doesn't play as a false nine.
Even if we say he's false nine, he's been all right.
He's 9. I'm not. You're right. He's not playing false 9. He's as a 9.
Boys, it took one game for us to turn into this, by the way. Do we trust our team? I just need to ask this. Do we trust our team? Because it took one bad performance and we're talking like this.
For me,
it didn't take one. It took 3.
Okay, 3. 3.
Out of 10. That's 30%.
It's not even that, Alex. For me, with just for example, with the Werner thing, for me, it's I mentioned this on a previous stream with Mount and Havertz, where I was like, I got them for not improving their decision making in a year and a half and 2.5 years, respectively, since they've been at the club. With Werner, it's the same thing. In a whole season and a half at our football club, I have seen no progression from him, no improvement, and he's and over that course of that year and a half. And I'm taking internationally speaking here as well. He's played under 4 different managers.
His name.
4 different managers he's played under.
He's regressed. When he first came to Chelsea, his first 10 games, he wasn't as bad as he is now. He's horrible.
And as well, look at the bar Lampard. Look at the caliber of the other 3 managers he was under. And you're telling me you can't improve even a little bit. That's why I'm done with him. That's why it's not just a game for me, like Alex said. It's not just this one game. It's a whole. I'm seeing nothing. It's the same problem I'm seeing a year ago. It's the same things.
But Scott, I said the team, not just Timo himself. We all know Timo's trash, but I'm talking about our team in general. Because let's be completely honest, we all want to win the league this season, right? Do we trust our team to go to a whole 38 games And do we back them to win the league this season? Because I'm 3 games like Alex has said, and we're talking like we're dead food.
I thought that was a pillow.
Oh no, I still expect us to win the league. I just like I'll criticize players. Like the only player that I'm actively like done with is Werner. Like there's no other player. Like ZH, I was nearly there. I think ZH, I was nearly there, but he's starting to do a bit more. Yeah, because
I'm not gonna put the names out of this lineup over here who wanted ZH out. There's a bunch of these people said it.
I still think
I'm still there, bro.
Who said ZH wanted to sell ZH? They won't sell ZH in January.
Yeah, I'm still there, bro. I'm still there.
Still there. Still there.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, like I'm not completely Scott. You
still there,
specifically.
man. Not changed whatsoever. ZH.
We're losing ZH, we're losing Werner, and we're literally Liverpool.
For me, if we lose ZH and Werner,
we're 1 injury away.
We can get better.
And we have 4 competitions.
We can get better.
It's not losing them. It's not losing them. Just to get rid of them. We'd obviously want to replace them.
We can do better. You know what's the biggest problem with January transfer window? Do you expect a player coming in and just fit right into that system, right?
That's the problem.
Yes.
Ideally, you get rid of them. January's just not going to be possible to get rid of them.
The point is, if you have a target that you want and they are available, and then you want to make funds available, you release those players to get that guy in. I don't think anyone here is saying, let's get rid of them and not sign a replacement.
No, even with replacement, Oscar, that's my point. Even with replacement, you expect the player to just slide into the team and start.
When Werner's in the team, is he gelling? Has he got chemistry with anyone? Is he looking good? Does he look like he's been here for 2-3 years? No, he looks like he came in January. So
that's the only one I see selling.
And I was going to say, I think it could be easier if we went out and scouted someone who would fit the system. Like with Werner, it's clear that there was no scouting was done with that. It was just a case of we looked at his numbers, and then we were like, cool, he'll work. We didn't look at how he actually plays, whether he'd fit the system, nothing of that. If you find someone that's going to fit your system,
all I'm saying is selling
him. That's a very good point that Scott just raised up. That's a big issue we have at the club is scouting and not bringing the appropriate players in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that scout actually
the signings we made on
the best in the world.
Look at the signings we made on the Lampard. Were they scouted properly? I don't think they were personally because we were playing one position.
I'd say 2 of them were. I'd say 2 of them were.
That's usually how it works. If you sign 5 players, fingers crossed, 2 of them make it. Yeah, that's literally Peter Cech said.
And the thing is, 3 of them were.
But hey, let's be 100%.
You don't work like that. Look at going on 6 players,
right?
The best
3 of them
work.
Scott, so that's Mendy, Chilwell, and Thiago Silva. Those 3 are the ones to
But look, I think the difference is like if you look at Klopp, right? Like almost every one of his players suit his system.
Yeah.
And I think we go by who's firing and the name right now and the potential. But that's the problem with we don't stick with managers. So this is the problem.
Another thing. You want to sell Timo Werner and ZH in January.
Not yet.
Let me finish. And you're going into the market, and all of you are like, we need the world class. I demand world class players. That's what's the problem. Because not every world class player will be happy to sit on the bench.
We don't need a world class player. We just need a competent player.
So if he comes, we'll bench CHO. We'll bench Pulisic. Somebody's gonna have to be on the
bro. If the player is better, then there's no issue. With
definitely, yes, bro. It's all on
like
okay.
Sorry, I just want someone who's going to fit the system. Like for left wing back, say for example.
Seriously, some Chelsea fans think transfer market is monopoly game. I want to buy this. I want to buy this.
It literally is a game. Like you literally look at players, you scout them, you see who fits the system, and you pay the right money for them.
Exactly.
That's how
instead of 4 players, you have how many clubs in Europe might go for the same player?
Wait, have you ever seen a January transfer that's been successful? These things happen. Like, why are you acting like it's far-fetched to say that we want to sell one player?
Came in January, no?
Who?
Bruno did. Bruno came in January.
Yeah, did he play good in the first half?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruno Fernandes?
Bro,
And
He
out of
scored
Bruno, how
goals.
many didn't? How many didn't that came in January? Good transfer windows.
Okay, there's been bad January transfers, and there's
But
been good
isn't it the same thing as the summer transfer window? Does everybody bring in the summer pan out good?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 50-50%. I mean,
we'll agree to disagree.
and
I don't want sell nobody in January. Wait until summer. That's my opinion. You
let's-
want to sell them in January?
One sec, guys. Big up Rodrigo Rogers.
Okay, my
saying so. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets no criticism at all.
We did, bro. We already
Yeah, you were late on the show. You just late on the show.
You weren't here, bro.
Paul says people say we're overreacting, but we stand to win the league. I'd cry if we blew it to fight for the third, fourth spot. I don't think it'll be a case of third or fourth spot, but I do think it's going to be very tight margins with how good Liverpool and Man City are. So I don't fully understand people getting annoyed or frustrated when we play complacent and we drop points like this.
I said, there's only two
it's going to be
teams.
tight margins.
Like I said,
Is
there's only
Cos
two-
and
I'm
Jabby
sorry,
still
sorry,
here? Because
sorry,
if not, I'm going to try and get Gem in quick.
Yeah,
like I said before,
I'm a dip out because I got to go back to work. But yeah,
No worries, Oscar. Big up yourself.
Oscar, I forgot to ask you a question. If I could, quick. When you watched at the game at the stadium, did you see? I mean, did you see the game on TV or no? After.
Yeah, I watched the highlights. This morning.
Did you see something different that you watched as in the stand with those chances because of the highlights? Was on the stands it look worse or different when you watched the replays on TV?
Not the chances. Like the chances, I thought they were bad. I thought Timo Werner's chance. I thought he was. You know the one where he shoots with his right foot on the outside.
Yeah. The one
in the stands, I was like, oh, he tried. That's unlucky. When I watched it on TV, I was like, no, he had so much time. He has to score. So. Watching it on TV because you see more replays, isn't it? In the ground, there's no replays. You just watch it once. So when you see the replays, you're like, "Rah, there was bare space." But the one thing I noticed from TV that I didn't really notice in the game was Ziyech and Reece James making hella crosses, and CHO and Werner just not making the run to the back post to collect the ball. You know that's what they're gonna do. So why are you not making those runs? That's what pissed me off.
Bro, them back post runs just pissed me off the most, man.
But anyway, I'm out, guys. Have a good stream.
You too, brother.
Later, Oscar. World Cup draws out.
Yeah, like people asked us to talk about, but I don't know shit about any of the other teams.
I know a little bit about some of the teams, but not too much.
Flamengo.
We played
basically not that Al Hilal and Auckland City that I've not much of unknown.
They've got Al Hilal. Have got some players that people might have heard of.
From last year.
Is that the team that Xavi was coaching or no?
No. They're a Saudi team. He was in Qatar.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
Oh, do you know?
Come on, Alex, man, you should know that.
One ex-Monaco coach.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to offend anyone.
But like the main thing, we're talking about those transfers though. We gotta say hindsight is 2020, right? I feel like the times where we're signing all those players in the summertime, we're all hyped for them. I mean, I had big expectations for everybody. I was so hyped when we're signing Werner. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I never wanted Timo Werner from the start. That's cap from me because I actually wanted Timo from the start. You know, from the highlights I saw from the Bundesliga.
I was actually suspecting.
Same as Havertz. I mean, although some of the signings did not pan out, we can't say what was our scout team doing because, okay, yeah, we could say because they did professionals. No. But from us, like, we're all hyped for those signings, and I wouldn't even lie, I was. I mean,
I think that's just us as football fans, though, because I think you look at United. This was the same with Ronaldo, but Ronaldo has never suited their system. Like he's done well for them this season, he scored goals, and saved them. But in terms of the system they were trying to play under Ollie, which was counter-attacking football, he doesn't suit that. And we look back now with the signings we made. Mendy, I mean,
better than yours, Chelsea Balboa.
So what?
My dog is better than you.
What dog is that?
With the signings we made, you can look back and go, with what we're trying to play, they actually made no sense, or most of them. Like Chilwell did.
The manly dog.
Silva
sorry,
did.
Scott. Sorry.
Did. No worries. Silva did. And I'd say that Havertz did just because we saw what he could develop
Those
into.
dogs are better looking than the owners.
That's an insult now.
But yeah, I think it just comes to like we do this as fans, and I think whoever made the point on Klopp, I think it might have been Xavi, is a brilliant point. Like you look at some of the players they brought in, like Tsimikas at left back, for example. He might only be a backup left back, but I guarantee I knew who he was, but that's because I'm kind of sad and I watched loads of league and I watched the Eredivisie when he was in there. But it's like no one knew who he was probably, But now he comes in, and he's a very suitable backup for Robertson because he's gone straight into the system and it works because he knows how to play that system.
Same thing for
There are even some Liverpool fans that want him to start over Robertson. So says a lot.
Bro, we should have just let Liverpool get Werner, bro. Oh man, it would have been great. Imagine Werner sticking it up for them right now.
Do you know what the maddest thing is as well? Werner actually might have worked in that system.
Yes.
The system
because Lampard actually literally wanted to copy Liverpool's team.
Yes, he did.
Literally, he wanted everything.
That was yes. That's why
he wanted to copy that team.
But the thing is, Liverpool make like 1 billion chances a game. Like I've seen, like even though they score against 5, I've seen Jota miss like 2 chances and Salah miss 1. But they score because they make those chances. Werner, he would actually get at least one of those 5 chances that they make. You know what I mean?
Are we sure about that though? I have seen him miss like 3 chances in a game before.
But he will score the rest of 3, the 6 chances that he gets.
How many chances Sterling gets before he scores?
You can say that, but again, why are we acting like we don't make chances? We make a lot of chances.
Yes, we do not make chances at that amount.
Bleeding Blue, it's the type of chances we're making. Like again, you go back to it yesterday.
Clear cut.
We take the type of chances that City and Liverpool do, where it's literally most of the time for their forwards are tapping. And the few times we do, like we saw yesterday, our strikers or forwards aren't in the right position to score.
Scott, exactly what I wanted to say from that. Don't you think sometimes it's not the person that passing the ball inside? Don't you think sometimes it's the guys that are actually receiving it not in the right place at the right time? That's a skill too. That's a talent.
I agree.
To have.
That's a skill.
To be at the right place at the right time.
You gotta feel the ball sometimes with your ass.
Yes, like you see receivers make a low pass, and I know Son should be over there to just shoot it, but it just goes past everybody, and the commentators will be like, "Wow, what a ball! What a dangerous ball!" But it's like, why is nobody attacking that? So sometimes I think like maybe you could say we're not creating the chance, but I think the chances are being created, but the guys on the receiving end are not in the right place at the right time. So it just looks like a wayward pass and be like, oh, what the hell is going on?
Let Jem talk. He's been here for a while.
Jem's just chilling.
His hair is just getting mad.
One second. My missus is at the blooming door. 2 seconds. I'll come back for you.
Continuation on Scott's point. Yes, we don't create a lot of tap-in opportunities, but our forwards should be able to, get more goals from the chances we are creating. We are creating enough for them. It's just like they're not putting the ball in the back of the net. That's what I have a problem with.
This goes, as I said, this goes back to my point I made at the start, where I want a striker in now who, at the bare minimum, just knows what to position themselves in the box. Like that's all I'm asking for my striker now, because I can't get it from like anyone else apart from Lukaku.
So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think about do you guys really think we should go for Chiesa? I mean, I've been saying we should, but like, a lot of people have been saying Chiesa. What do you think about Chiesa?
This is what I exactly thought.
Honestly, the shit that I've heard you lot talking this whole show has made me fucking laugh. Honestly, some of the shit
we've been talking.
Honestly, is it the Werner debate show or saying? Just moan about Werner Day or saying?
I tried to make it. It's not Werner.
If we're talking about this game, let's be serious, yeah. All right. CHO missed 2 big chances. Werner had chances. Wasn't great. I agree. He wasn't great in the game. CHO we could have been 1-0 up within 6 minutes. Could have been a different game. Let's be serious. Yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah. ZH, who I saw over social media, a lot of people saying was our best forward. If that's your best forward, creating, having 25 shots at goal on 15 corners and not being able to score any, then that's, I just feel like we're clutching. All 3 of them were poor. It wasn't Werner. It wasn't just CHO. It wasn't just ZH. All 3 of them were shit. That's the way I see it. And in terms of, for me, there's a bigger issue than just the forward line. The biggest issue for me was the midfield. Because Ruben Loftus-Cheek, can someone explain to me where he was yesterday? Because he wasn't the player that I saw the last couple of games. No. And when you're playing against a team that's going to play a low block, like Manchester United did, you need players like CHO and Ruben to open up that space. Which means they get the ball and they run with it. So we can moan about our forwards, but the people that were meant to be progressive with the ball weren't progressive whatsoever. So there was no space in the game, really. Yes, we made chances, but they sat back and it was more from our wing-backs. Now, Alonso, in the long run, is going to be an issue. I keep saying it because when Scott spoke about levels, he's right, levels. So if someone gets injured in a certain position and someone comes in, they have to be near enough that same level. Alonso is nowhere near the same level as Chilwell. And in this system, our wing-backs are the most important people. They're the most important people in this system, in the way that we play. because not only do they get forward, they get backwards, they score, they assist, they have the recovery speed to get back so that if the space behind them is there, they can make sure they can get back. This guy can't do that. He can just about run. You know, we will win games with Alonso this season, and we've got no choice. Alonso will have to play in many games. But in the long run, it's a problem for this system because we are going to be heavily reliant going down the right because we're not going to have the confidence to go down the left. What you will see is that when we attack mostly, it will be down the right, us crossing balls in and Alonso coming in the back post, which is what he's good at. But anything going down that wing, supporting CHO down that wing, like Chilwell does very well when he's next to CHO, is not going to happen as well as you think it is. And that's going to affect our system. Now, what we need to do is think about maybe bringing someone in January because he's not good enough.
Well, let's try Saul. Let's try Saul.
But wait, there's no
I said, look, Jem, you got my, like, you weren't here before I was speaking because I wasn't, like, for me, it was different people. Like, people were blaming Werner for losing the game. I said it wasn't.
It's not Werner's fault we lost the game.
Exactly. For me, it was, first of all, it was CHO, second was Tuchel, and the third was midfield. But I said it and I said it again. I don't care. Those three reasons we lost. Well, I still consider it a loss, but it's a draw. We drew the game.
It's a draw, wasn't it? But we actually
yeah, it was. Let me finish my point. Another thing, I'm not saying Alonso is a good defender. He was a good squad player, but we are facing the issue of injury. So now, instead of selling Timo Werner and ZH, what is still squad players could play in the league games and the cup games and everything, they can play over there. But if we're going in the transfer market, we need to find a player that actually can be. But you cannot find a player that can play left wing back, well, like everybody likes to say, a world class in January. So we will have a world
class because Chilwell was never
saying. Okay, I'm just trying to be young and cool, Scott. I'm just trying to be young and cool. For me, remember, and I will say that again, James is going to start on the left and Pulisic is going to start on the right more often. You'll see it.
Like you guys said about Werner was not the problem. I understand what you're saying.
Whatever you call it, could be other way around.
But Werner as being a number 9, who was a number 9. He was not a false. He was not a false 9. He was a 9. Was not in the center. He was a center forward, but that was not in the center. So guys like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, when he drives forward to the ball, who does he combine with in the middle? He goes wide. He goes wide, and the same thing is happening. You recycle it wide. You come back. You do the same thing. But you don't have a striker who is a vocal point to combine with.
He was not even in a position to go left or right.
My issue with Ruben Loftus-Cheek yesterday was that every time he got the ball, it was how quick can I get rid of it. It wasn't get the ball, turn around, drive at the Matic and the
or hold him for way too long. Hold him for way too long.
He didn't want that. He wanted to just do little 1-2 passes to Jorginho, like you said, pass it on the wings. That's
not aggressive enough.
I don't know how many people. I don't know how many people on the panel saw his loan spell at Fulham, but it reminded me of games that he played at Fulham.
Yeah.
That was the injury.
I think it was stuck in 2 minds. So that's why.
Why did he do that? Why did he switch back into that? Is my question. Like, I don't get that. You've been playing in such a certain way.
In the first half, Jorginho and Ruben was walking between them. There's to pass it, even to open up. They didn't even make those little lines to go between the lines. They literally walk in.
Yes, you're right. That's what I was frustrated with Ruben yesterday.
That in itself is a problem for that system. And yes, we bang on about our forwards. Listen, our forwards should have scored more goals. But when your midfield is not even doing, when certain players are not doing what they're very good at doing, i.e. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it makes things even harder. When I saw Ruben in the game yesterday, before we even started, I went, he is going to be one of the most important players today. He's going to be one of the most important players. Him, Reece James, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I didn't put Timo Werner in that. I don't sit here and defend Timo Werner. He was poor yesterday. He didn't have a good game, but he wasn't the only one. It was so many things that went wrong yesterday. That's why we didn't win that game.
Jam, but the thing about Werner is Werner is not like a guy. I'm not saying that. Look, I don't care about Werner overall game. I don't even care if he has a good game. Just put the ball at the back of the net at some point. That's all I care about at this point. I don't care if your overall game, the way you combine, you just score. You're a striker. You're a number 9 guy. You the man. That's it.
All I want is I want is to blame to be blamed for appropriate things. I don't want to be blamed. People being blamed for no like.
I blame you, Alex.
My wife,
at the end of the day, bro, football is a team
years,
game,
man.
though. At
What
the end
I'm
of the day,
saying is, like,
what's your name, Winter
what I'm-
Surfer? Jem is quiet.
what I'm saying is like there is things needs to be blamed specifically on previous games, but it needs to be directed in the right way. The blame is that's the problem. But like like people's agendas eventually come out when you're blaming the wrong person for wrong things.
I swear to God, I don't have an
But
agenda.
how? Like,
No. I'm not saying
man.
you. I agree with you. Timo Werner shouldn't start. I bet you none of us put him in the starting lineup. But Father. So let's blame Father because he's the only one who
No,
put Timo Werner in
did
the
put him
lineup.
in his starting lineup.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody else did it.
Can't be asked.
But nobody else
Take
did
him over
it.
Messi.
But nobody
playing,
else did it. So what I'm saying is, like from us, nobody wanted Timo Werner in the starting lineup, but he was there. But like I said, for me, it's like the biggest people saying biggest thing is the Timo Werner. For me, it's not. For me, the biggest thing of Chelsea this season, it's a scoring first goal. The quicker, the better. Because
I agree, 100%.
that's the most important thing Chelsea this season.
Well, Alex,
and if Cho did not score that, I'm blaming him specifically for that.
But Alex,
because that was not our weakest
I think
thing.
Son puts that in the back of the net. You know, that's the difference. You know,
well, think about it.
I think Pulisic puts in the back of a net. I think Ziyech puts in the back of a net.
I feel like there's one thing we have to understand: when you play against teams with low block, it's always the first. It's always the first rule. Once you play against a team with low block, you have to score first. It doesn't matter about yesterday. If Chelsea is going. One thing about Chelsea right now, as we the top 2 teams in the league or top 3 teams in the league, we're gonna have to play 90% of our games against low block teams. And when you play against those low block teams, you have to score first. You just have to because you know it goes like this. You score first, they come out, you can counter attack, and you score more goals. But
that's a 17 teams. That's a 17 teams in the league. The only team that will not make it, it's gonna be Liverpool and City. The rest of them will low block us.
Look, United were there for the taking yesterday, massively. They
without a doubt.
When people were saying on social media that Man United played really well, they actually
no, they didn't,
bro.
What?
It was
bro, what they played
They
terrorist
stuck to the plan. They stuck to their plan.
I was going to say they played.
It was still beatable, though. Do you know what I mean? That was the thing.
The midfield played well, and they were better in the second half. But that first half performance was like awful. That was awful. That entire defense in the first half was shambles. The front three were non-existent. Bruno was non-existent until he came off. It was literally just that midfield.
And I think the Burnley has a better defensive structure, low block in Chelsea than Manchester United. Specifically,
and Burnley try to attack too. That's crazy. Burnley try to at least attack sometimes.
What I'm saying is like, guys, if you wanted to blame something, blame like, if anybody hears me, please, Chelsea needs the first goal. That's it. If we score the first goal, I bet you even Timo Werner could score.
No, there's a rhythm in our recent games that when we come out, that we have been starting quicker. We haven't usually in the past. Usually we're really bad in the first half, and in the second half we get our goals. But recently, what we've been doing, if you've noticed, is that we usually have a period where if we score between 0 and 20 minutes, it completely kerfuffles the opponent's game plan. And if we'd have done that to Man United yesterday, if we'd have scored in the 6th minute, that would have been 2-3-4 because their game plan would have been ruined. It would have been absolutely tarnished. Yeah. And there's another period as well. It's the 0 to 20 and it's the 45 to 60 mark all the time because we always start. We're starting quicker from when we come out, if you've noticed. Which
I don't understand why we can't seem to
because Tuchel uses
that
stick
for a half
and doesn't use a lubricant in the halftime.
No, okay. Something about Tuchel too, though. I mean, let's go again. He did
got it
mess
wrong.
up.
He should have made subs.
Yeah, that's what I said. Joe first, Tuchel second, midfield third.
You gotta make a sub. You gotta make a sub.
The more I think about the sub, just because of who came on, the more I think about, like, you look who came on or the options. You had Lukaku who came on who quite clearly wasn't fit if he's saying he's not good enough to play 9 games.
Yeah.
You had Havertz who has not been good since he's been playing striker apart from 1 game.
And the hamstring.
It's been injured.
You had Mount who's just come back from the teeth thing.
He should have played Pulisic though, well earlier.
And you've had Pulisic. Pulisic's maybe the only one. But the more I think about it, the more I think he was limited in terms of the forward options just because they're all coming back from injury.
Yeah, but left
Or
wing back
not
was
fit enough to play more than, let's say, 30 minutes. He
Yeah,
probably
but-
could have brought Pulisic on earlier. That's fair enough.
I thought Pulisic, when he came on, actually gave us something
Yeah,
different.
Pulisic, yeah,
Oh
Pulisic
wow!
was just
Even
much
Mount did. Even Mount was
Yeah.
after
Well,
coming
Mount,
in.
I thought Mount was, I don't know, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mount
I
was
get
Yeah,
it.
okay.
there was a couple
was
of crosses in the
okay.
box.
Pulisic was
No,
definitely-
I'm not saying he was the man of the match.
Yeah.
But he made the difference.
Something different, yeah. But they all are different. That's my point. When you've got a fit forward line like we have, right? I am cool with Tuchel playing whoever he wants as the front three. If it doesn't work within 45 minutes, change it because they're all different. You completely change the front. When you change the front three, you change everything because they're all for me. They're different in the way that they play. So that's what I'm saying. If it's not working, go on to something else. Don't just stick to what you've got.
One
sec. Big up Ex Destroyer Killer 2000 saying, I'm surprised that Chelsea's lack of finishing isn't more popular, as I've seen it as one of Chelsea's biggest issues for the past 5, maybe 6 years. I can't lie, we spent half the stream complaining about our finishing, and we spent the last year complaining about it as well. Trust me, we have not forgotten how shit our finishing is. JJ Bridge also says Ruben and J5 are terrible together and lazy.
No.
Just one game though. Let's see how
One
we
game.
adjust. Hope
One
Kante is
game.
back Wednesday. And we smashed Watford.
We wish
5-0.
Kovacic
We shouldn't
was
drop
finished,
points against Watford,
But
regardless of the squad.
That's facts.
Let's not act like they didn't score off a Jorginho mistake, and that then gave them confidence. Because the game, like I understand, Cho should be finishing, and Jorginho, like as soon as that happened, they started pressing and started having confidence to play out now. But then we quickly turned that back, and I feel like where Tuchel messed up with the subs earlier, they were beginning to tire. Their press was they weren't marking on the right hand side. We had an abundance of joy, and I feel like if we got there earlier to create those chances, we could even create more earlier if those subs came in.
Yeah, but we could still be complaining about the performance because the performance was not great, even if we did win.
I don't know. I think
When you're in the Premier League, playing against Manchester United, I'm not going to complain about performance if we win because that was just a classic Manchester United game. Honestly,
we've seen games in the past. I'm talking this channel specifically where we've won, but there's still been complaints about the performance.
I think it matters.
Yeah,
Aston Villa. It's really that bad, though.
Aston Villa game.
Are we just frustrated?
We're frustrated.
You literally put my name on there. You freaking wanker.
Like that second half from us was until we scored the penalty, and even not like that second half was terrible.
You're proper twat.
But Scott, it's like I think they scored early, and that like rattled us a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
we got it back.
But that's where we need to be better. Like we can take the piss out of Liverpool fans for how they say this when they call their team mentality monsters. But look at their team. Apart from the West Ham and Brighton games, like even if they concede, they still run through teams most of the time. Obviously, the Brighton and West Ham games are different, but most of the time, even when they concede, they still run through teams.
Look at how they played against
us
when they conceded.
It's iron. It's really iron sharpens irons in Liverpool front line. How many times have you seen Salah and Mane literally fight each other when someone doesn't score a goal? I mean, it's toxic, but it works, bro. It just breeds the best out of all of them. When it's fun out, everyone's giving him the thumbs up, the pat on the back, the pat on the bum, like, cool, whoop-de-doo.
No, they fight when one doesn't pass it to another in a better position to be. Remember when
mostly Salah
when Mane, Salah doesn't pass us. When Mane doesn't get pass and he's in a better position, he will let Salah know. And Salah is like gonna play like, oh, I did not know, I didn't see you. They fight not only for the good stuff, they fight for the bad stuff too.
Can we talk about how good Thiago Silva was yesterday?
Only positive.
Yeah, it's like the only positive.
Nothing to say. The guy's world class. He is literally the
best centre back in the league currently.
He is. I've been carrying it for a while. I've been saying he is the best. He is the best centre back in the league based on form and where we're at the moment. For me, I don't think I go on about our wing backs and how important they are. Reece James and Ben Chilwell are massive to the way this system works. But having him at the back, I know Chalobah's been great, but having Thiago Silva next to you, guiding you, leading you, that experience is pivotal.
Because Thiago Silva, we start to see long crosses into the wings to CHO. he passes to CHO and to ZH.
It's the way he plays the game. Like, even when he goes up for a header, you know, when they jump up for headers, usually you quite rush for the header. He already knows where he's headering it to before it comes to him.
I was going to say, like, I think in terms of defenders, he reads the game better than any defender I can remember seeing. Like,
he's so calm as well.
That's it. It's the calm. It's the whole thing of like it slows down to his pace. Like, you know what I mean, sort of thing.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't know who it was that said about Rudiger when we've talked about Rudiger's contract in this situation. Someone said that he should play every game he's able to. For me, that's Thiago Silva. Every single game you can play him in this season, like you can afford to play him in, you play him. He is that is that good for us and that key for us. Like you just play him. I know he's old, but if you can nurse him through games.
This thing of that he can't play game after game after game has been massively, because he can.
Hasn't he played like 3 or 4 games like on the bounce when we were playing midweek games?
Yes. 5, I think he's playing on the bounce.
Yeah, so like any game he's fit to play in, just play him.
He's too good.
I mean, Krusty the Clown don't get in anymore. Chalobah's put him in back.
There it is.
Right, how long was that before we got?
No, I was going to say after the game today, I think Christian is going to come in. I think Christian should come in.
All I would have say is we would have beaten Manchester United if we had the Danish multi.
How is Chalobah pushed himself in front of a player that's supposedly
sorry, man.
best
Sorry, not sorry. But we move.
Yeah.
I think he should come back in though now, because I think the thing with Chalobah yesterday is and this isn't necessarily his fault, but yesterday for me it was a case of we saw his age. Yesterday there were a few times where, particularly in that second half, and it was like the Brentford game with Tony, they thought they could get at him, and when they did, there was a few times he looked a little bit suspect. But I think again that just comes with age.
Who?
I think that's the part.
Yeah, there was a few moments when he was
that just comes with age, and he'll get past
a couple of times, didn't he?
And he'll get past that. But I think it's just an age thing. It's literally.
By the way, if you don't remember who to compare Thiago Silva, when the calmness, not in defense sense, but in the but in the offense, Pirlo. For me, the way Pirlo was playing, that's the slowness and calmness about.
Bitchinsons. I love that. Thank you for that new word. I'm going to use that now. Bitchinsons. Yes.
It's the rest in piss part.
Slandering our own players. A shame. Such a shame.
We've been doing that for 2 hours. Don't even try that.
Nah, man. This was a respectful stream and everything, and now we're out here slandering our own players. I can't be bothered. It's a real shame. Come on, man. We gotta be better fans. We have to be better football fans.
We're slandering players who wasn't on the pitch, but we're slandering players who wasn't even involved in the loss.
Yeah, because
all I'm saying is we could have done with his composure, but it is what it is.
I don't think we win the game with Christensen on the pitch anyway, but it is what it is.
We didn't win the game with him off the pitch, so it wouldn't make much of a difference.
Hey, that Robin Loftus-Cheek's header, he should have least hit it on target.
Can I ask you a question? Why the hell was
badly? It came up.
Why the hell was Jorginho the last player back when he made that?
I'm gonna mute myself for that.
Jam. No, honestly, because I don't get your slowest player on the pitch is getting chased down by Rashford and Sancho, who's one of their quickest players. Even if he doesn't muck up that control, say he controls it, but then he loses the ball, he's never catching them in the first place anyway. So why is he there?
The thing that doesn't make sense for me is just on it doesn't matter what team you play for. Surely just basic football understanding would be you keep 2 players back at all times.
Yeah, you keep 2. Remember when it was Kante? Kante usually always slipped.
Yeah,
remember that Martinelli goal? It always happens. I don't like one player back.
It was the Martinelli goal. It was the City goal that we conceded. You look at Man United last season against Istanbul. I don't. Yeah, surely just basic football understanding would say just have 2 players back.
No, it's straight after that. He wasn't back there. Every time we had corners, he was then pushed forward. He was in the box. He shouldn't have been back there in the first place. Is my point anyway. But it is what it is. He made the mistake, and it was a poor mistake. Don't get me wrong.
The question is why he didn't head it in the first place.
Here he comes.
Why?
Guys, I just seen a stat that's
no,
quite
just
terrifying.
name me one defensive key word on it. Defensive midfielder who's gonna try to control it. He'll literally look up in the sky and think, oh, Ballon d'Or is coming. Ballon d'Or is shiny. I'm gonna control it.
I mean, what he should have done is just headed
and then
he should have just put his head through it. Just headed it
the
the
funny
other way.
part is
there was no pressure.
He did it. Look, it's funny part is he did
Actually,
not
Ted,
even glance who's coming at him. He did not see them. That's why he tried
It's
to
weird
control
because
it.
his balance and his touch is usually quite good. Like I expect him to just bring it down quite nicely.
That's a
but when he
different cup of
bounced
tea.
off his foot, I was like, what's going on? You know?
Proper defending number one. You do not let the ball bounce.
On top of that, you go and let fucking Sancho score out of every player as well. Do you
The
know what I
funny
mean?
thing in that situation, like you don't ever do that, but it will probably be better than what he did because it bounced down.
He did the second worst thing he could do. The first thing he could have done was let it bounce. He then did the second worst thing he could have done, which is try and
control
it.
But like he messed up.
He should have booted that out. He should have cleared that out of the stadium. There was no reason.
I don't care. Just
clear it out of the stadium.
Bro, anything
That's
but
why
that
defensive
touch, though.
midfielder. It's in the name.
So that's why I asked. Like we're seeing that on the bench from the coach's perspective, just leaving Jorginho up. And I think the fact that Manu had everyone in the box, we got too overhyped with throwing just one back from a.
No, I think there's the players there. They was just not close enough for him. I think they pushed a little too far.
No, they were coming back. Look, I saw the play. They were coming back, and then they spread out wide to receive the pass because they thought Jorginho was going to take it down. So they were coming back, and then they spread out wide to receive the pass.
By the way, why nobody shouted clear it?
You can't shout. I don't think you can shout.
Because I think they just.
No, you can tell Jorginho clear out.
Jorginho expected him to just control.
No,
Jorginho
let them know that somebody coming.
Well, Mendy
gotta
could see that clearly, couldn't he?
You can say man on. There's a couple things you can't say. You can't call out because otherwise you get an indirect free kick given against you. I know.
No, you're not saying.
You just saying.
I'm saying somebody can. You can shout players saying you got the man on.
Man on.
I just feel like Sancho, Rashford are coming. Just do anything.
But I think the thing is, I think they were just so confident he was going to take that down.
And Jorginho was confident in himself.
I don't think players are comfortable.
He was confident in
himself.
himself.
No, our players. Look at that goal again. Look at that goal again. They were going to spread out, thinking Jorginho was going to take that.
I was going to say, the thing is, you look how close they were to him by the time he was getting that touch. That was the poor option anyway. Even if he'd got the touch down, he'd have had to play that ball back to Mendy straight away. He had no time on the ball.
Agreed.
He'd have had to play that straight away.
And the ball could be short as well. And what's his name? Rashford could have got to the pass.
Because someone did that in the second half, didn't they? They went to play it back to Mendy a little bit.
That just needed a Rudiger. You know, when then Rudiger just. Hoops.
Yeah, just hoops
when he comes down, just like
that's not the only poor decision we made. We almost thank God it landed on Fred.
That's not the only poor decision we made.
That's what I just said. I said if you want to exclaim it, that's fine. But Mendy, luckily it ended at Fred's foot.
Yeah, he only lost the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If Fred actually opened his eyes, Ronaldo would have scored. He would have just laid that to Ronaldo.
He was offside. They showed that he was offside.
Was he?
Yeah, he was offside.
Yeah, he was offside. But if he literally just put some more
if it was somebody better, it would have go over him. If it wasn't a Fred, it was somebody more skillful, it will score. It's just we're lucky it was a Fred.
What was he trying to do anyway? He tried to lob Mendy.
Yeah, he tried to lob it. He could have done. He just put nowhere near enough power on it, so it was a pass back.
Thing is, I don't even think he could have. Mendy probably would have backed.
It's like
Mendy's out of the box. Mendy was out of the box.
Yeah, Mendy was at about the penalty spot.
And it was a little wide. So if it goes to the far post, it's not only he was far, he's actually a little wide. So if he could chip it, it will be a long way, so it's even easier to do it.
Well, what he should have done is when he got the ball, he should have just ran a bit more forward of it, got Ronaldo on the side, and just passed it.
That was because it was 1 versus 2, 2 versus 1. Yeah.
Well, let's be happy he didn't.
Yeah,
we would probably been more pissed.
Look at us. Look at. I mean, that's why I love Chelsea. Though, look at our standard. Though, look at our standard. Though, we drew the game and it feels like a loss. So I mean, I guess our standard is back. But
Lewis is not even paying attention.
But like the main thing about it is just
look.
So, at the end of the day,
you saying it's a bad thing that we feel we lost the game?
No, I said that's the Chelsea standard now. It's back up because we drew and look at us. We crying like it was a loss. So that's a good thing.
I think it's context.
It's standard, but it's also Man U that.
I was going to say in context, like because if this was like you look at the Liverpool game, that was a draw, but you look at the context behind it, that was a decent point. This was I don't care. It was Man United. This could have been City or Liverpool. If they were in the same position, I'd expect to batter them as well.
Scott, let me ask you this question: do you see the pattern when Tuchel overthinks some things? Between like Arsenal, remember how poor Arsenal was, and Vegaras, like even like underestimated like specific games. Like I think we completely underestimated Man United, and that happened before.
I don't think we underestimated them in terms of Tuchel. I think it was just the players didn't perform because like you look at the lineup we came out with. Like I don't think anyone at the time could have had any problems with the lineup because like. Like I don't think there were many problems to be had. Like people could,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
no. That was not Tuchel. That was Jorginho that told Tuchel that's what bothered him. But I kind of
his spotlight could be hella bright, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Actually, he went into his Klopp bag. Make excuses. Oh, those are
he's
like
protecting the players, bro.
Yeah.
Let's let him off. That's the first time he
There's nothing to protect, is there really?
Put that HM on.
Frank Lampard would have done
Put
something else.
that HM. Yeah. Are you freaking shut your mouth, you little fucking wanker, and go back into your mama's basement if you really think that I'm slandering Mendy, you toothless prick. Thank you. Goodbye, you dumbass. If you think that I'm slandering Mendy,
when did you ever?
Lampard. If it was Lampard would have said what it is. Lampard would have said, "Well, Jorginho, he should have never done that." You know, but Tuchel loves protecting his players. He did the same thing for Werner too.
To be fair to Jorginho, I don't think he had a bad game either. Apart from that,
no, he didn't have a bad game.
Oh no, he had a very
He had
average
a stinker after he could see that goal. It was.
Look how many times he gave the ball away, and it wasn't because he was pressed. This wasn't a City game where he was pressed to lose the ball.
No,
he was giving the ball away left, right, and centre.
No blunts at home.
I think he was covering for like RLC.
He was giving the ball away left, right, and centre, like just dumb passes. Like our whole team.
Bro, I actually think he was actually recovering and he was getting the play started. I think he had to really do a lot of work for RLC as well and cover for him.
Yeah, I hear that because I thought RLC was non-existent. To be honest.
I will say this again. Where is Kovacic? Where is he at? All Tuchel's been saying recently is that he's injured. What is the injury? Why have we not gotten an update on this like 6-7 weeks?
We've seen this before, haven't we? This is what Pulisic. It was the same thing with Pulisic.
What do you mean? He had a hamstring. He said he's going to be until mid-December. Why you?
I didn't hear him say anything about a hamstring.
Yeah, it was a hamstring.
It's a hamstring. He's got a hamstring injury. Yeah, it's a hamstring. But you saw with Werner. You saw with Werner how long he's been out of a hamstring injury. He's been
Werner's have a hamstring injury, ankle. Lukaku ankle, Pulisic ankle. Before what's his name? ZH, not ZH shoulder. Kai Havertz hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't he be back at training at this point?
Nah,
they are.
Kovacic injury.
They are. Some of them are actually. That's why. What's his name? Kai Havertz
specifically.
Kai Havertz was the first training with the team was on Friday evening, so I knew he was going to play.
Also, Lukaku's been training since the start of the week, hasn't he? And he still apparently wasn't fit to play even 9 minutes this game. So even if he's back in training, he still might not be anywhere near fit to be part of the match they scored.
Yeah, Kante also have a hamstring. No, knee pain.
Knee injury. He's got a knee injury, Kante. Yeah.
I think Kante will be back sooner, though. I think.
Yeah, he said midweek next.
He said a couple of days. He said he'll be out.
Yeah.
That was it.
But Kovacic actually injured his in training, so I feel like that he probably pulled up, and it's worse.
We miss Kante and Kovacic big time, bro. Either one of them, we miss both of them.
We miss Ben Chilwell, man. That's who we miss. Trust me.
We
don't talk about it enough. But we miss Ben
Chilwell.
We missed.
was who we missed are actually player who can finish. That's who we missed.
Lukaku.
Okay, here's a question then.
Somebody who can finish one-on-one.
Yeah,
Okay,
we probably have
who's
to go.
got the
We'll
most
probably have to
clinical
go and
front
get
three
Haaland
then?
now, anyway. So
Who's our most clinical front three? Because if you ask the Chelsea fan who's our most clinical front three, you will get 100 different answers.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Is that down to
I
individual
actually think
or
our
not?
most clinical, our most clinical two for me is Lukaku and Pulisic. On his fit. I think Pulisic
Clinical
is
finishing, yes. Clinical finishing, yeah. Fluency between them.
I've seen enough fluidity to know that I don't care. Like,
we
bro,
haven't seen Lukaku.
Every time word fluency, every time word fluency
all I'm
comes
hearing
in,
is
it
fluidity when I'm
triggers
seeing
Scott.
Kai Havertz. Bro, all I'm hearing is fluidity when I'm seeing Kai Havertz not doing absolutely anything.
Every time register comes up, it triggers me.
That's not true. That's not true. I disagree with that. He doesn't not do anything in games.
He wasn't affecting games. He wasn't
No, but
affecting.
do you know what it is with
think
Kai
he's
Havertz, right?
effective.
I'll
I
tell you
think
the
he's
issue with Kai
effective.
Havertz is that because of what he does, is you can't see on stats, because when you look at stats, it only tells you assists and goals. But usually, when you look at it, and you know, and with Kai Havertz's game, a lot of the way that we play the system, it involves a lot of movement, and he is, for me, one of our best movers. When you talk about someone that can actually get around and create space, drop deep, allow the inside forwards to run in behind, he does a lot of movement from the mid, from where he stands at the striker. He can go to the wing. He can go, and look, he's not your typical number 9. He's not a Lukaku. When Lukaku plays, he doesn't do that. He's very static. He will hold himself.
The thing with Lukaku is as we've seen in the past, he can do all of those things that Kai Havertz does. He's just in the system for some reason.
I don't think he has the movement. Lukaku.
No,
He
don't
definitely
think
does. I'm watching for Belgium and for Inter. And
No, Jay, I swear I read your super chat.
Well, he's not. I haven't seen it at Chelsea.
That's fair at Chelsea, we haven't, but that's because
I
he's
think
been
you read it. I think you read it.
Yeah, bro, we did read the super
We
chat.
did read it, yes.
But yeah,
we just ignored it. We just ignored it as usual. With J5 comments.
Go on, Scott.
No, we said Ruben and J5 were both terrible. Well, I thought J5 was only bad in phases. Ruben was defo poor. It is just one game. Kante, I hope is back Wednesday, but I have no idea how long he's back for. And Watford will get put in a pack regardless if we play them or if we play our under 18s.
Yeah.
But with Lukaku, we haven't seen it because he's been
yourself anyway.
Target man, which isn't his natural game. And that's why I say I understand what Kai can do, but he wasn't affecting games in terms of some of the games you're talking about that we played. He wasn't doing the movement. Like there were games he was. So what was a game?
I was at the Norwich game, right?
And Norwich game he was, and there was another game he
social
was.
media, everyone was saying, "What did Kai Havertz do? We scored 7 goals, and he didn't do anything." But
that's just
that was so wrong.
Answer the game of foot champs. Can't be asked.
Because those same people will be like, we'll see a player like Rashford, for example, from a year ago or 2 years ago, and say he had a really good season when all he did was score goals, but didn't actually his overall play was terrible. Those same people will look at stats and they won't see how the players actually play.
No, they don't. It involves eye test, and that's what the issue is. A lot of people don't want to do the eye test.
Yeah, but the thing with Kai is I just don't see what he does most of the time to influence the game that Lukaku couldn't do if he was just given a bit more license to do more.
Oh, Mount finished 19.
I think it's more him playing to I think he's still adapting. And one of the issues I think with Lukaku at the small time that we've seen him at Chelsea is that he hasn't really been able to build up any chemistry with any of the people behind because we're always forever changing it around. And like I keep saying, they're different in ability, attributes. They all offer something different. So I think he does need a bit of time with maybe a CHO or a Pulisic or both playing with him behind him and build up a relationship for him to understand more so how to play with these players. That's what I think. I know they do it in training, but training and playing matches are two completely different things.
Also, people forget that he was not playing with Chilwell and Reece James when he first came in. It was Aspie and Marcus Alonso as our wingbacks.
No, he played with James against Arsenal.
That's it. And he had Alonso on the left. He's never had both
with Pulisic and CHO.
I want to see that as well.
He hasn't played since we made those tweaks with the inverted fullbacks.
I guess we'll see out on Wednesday.
I'll say if everyone is fit, that's the front three I want to see.
I don't want to see Ziyech, and I don't want to see Mount, and I don't want to see Werner.
We'll save the Wolves talk for tomorrow's stream because I want to hold something for that one at the very least.
Ziyech for me is still a maybe, just because I'm still seeing.
We'll talk about that on Gem's stream.
I'm seeing glimpses. I agree with the other two.
Unless
you know what? We've been going for 2.5 hours. I need a nap because I'm going to be on another stream at 8. Big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. I will leave you with a photo of the one person who could have saved us yesterday. Take care. Like and subscribe. And as always, up the fuck.